on this computer. All right, we should be going now. Hello, everyone. This is our next session of the Streets of Avalon, the Bleak Testament. And I'm going to have everyone introduce themselves and their characters. Unfortunately, we do not have our bird-obsessed bard private investigator tonight. John's feeling a little bit under the weather, so it's okay though. We were at a good stopping point, and let's go with Brandon. If you could introduce yourself and your character.
I am Brandon Barnes. I am playing Bar Broomhill, a bargeman, rogue, and he is the cat about town that sometimes runs secret messages that the Order of Hermes won't touch.
All right, and Eric, if you could introduce yourself and your character.
Hi there, I am Eric Bonts. I'm playing Zindlane. I am a noble who's hard on his luck due to his alcoholism problems that he had, and landed on the streets with no money and not allowed to use his last name. And I'm playing a warlock who recently made. I'm playing a warlock due to the deal I recently made to as I hit rock bottom.
All right, and Bob, if you would introduce yourself and your character, please.
All right, I am Bob Everson, and I am playing Garland Bach, who is a half-orc outlander. He is a bounty hunter / leg breaker for hire, and he has a fondness for pistols, although in the previous session I never used my pistol. By that.
The previous session I never used a magic spell, so...
Yeah. But you still got closer with your patron, so that was okay.
There you go. Good role playing.
All right, so much like last time, we are going to start this by zooming in on this image, and once again, we see a figure lighting a street lamp as the sun is fading from the sky. It's a robed figure, and there is a gnarled, strange hand that is reaching out and lighting the lamp. A figure approaches from around the corner with another box, and our robed figure that is lighting the lamps turns towards him and says, You wish to hear more about them, then? Very well. Allow me to see your offering. It is acceptable. Where did we leave off? Ah, yes. The Whisperer, the Enforcer, the Broken and the Brave. They found the broken seal and noticed the missing piece. They spoke with the Brother of the Old Faith and heard rumors of gang war. They spoke with guild representatives and made new contacts. They survived the Vigilant Knives and the Beasts of the Sewers, but they have just learned that they do not know what they do not know. Let us continue our tale.
Nice.
Definitely do not know what I don't know. That's right.
If there's one thing I don't know, it's the stuff that I don't know.
So it has been a few weeks. At the end of the last session, we went over what everyone did to do some training and to do some side jobs and make some contacts. Zindlane, you specifically picked up one of the enforcers named, because we didn't have a name at the last time because you just rolled this up. But your new contact's name was Gina. Gina was the, Avara is your new contact's name. And she is an enforcer for the cadre of vermin catchers. And you can most often find her at the Moat House, which is the tavern next to the palace.
Yep, that's the gotcha.
Yes, that's
what was her name again?
Her name is Abara, Abara.
Cool. Excellent.
And if you could, each one of you, it's been about 2 weeks. We went over last time what you were doing in that intervening time. But where do we find you on this particular day? Let's start with Barrow. What are you doing in a typical morning?
I am probably sitting on a rooftop that is facing the sunrise, snacking on an apple, hanging my feet over the side of the roof, dangling them, kind of just enjoying the morning.
Okay. So as you're like, dangling your feet over the side of the building, you hear this scuffing and scrabbling, and this kind of higher pitched voice, ah! Ugh, ugh. And you see this young boy, and you know him from the neighborhood because you run messages as well. And this is Scuff, and he is one of the kids that delivers messages for the Order of Hermes. And Scuff looks at you and says, "Oh, it's you, the scab."
Well, better scab than poor.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, I got a message for you. Brother Sebastian says he needs to see you at the graveyard.
Okay.
And he holds his hand out.
Okay, I kind of slide down the building, like right in front of him, and kind of like eye to eye, because he's little, I'm little, and I toss my apple up in the air, half eaten, and take off running.
You're a damn scab! Quit taking my message feed! It's like yelling after you in the street. What is Garland doing this particular morning?
Garland is meticulously cleaning his flintlock pistol. Making sure that the barrel is all cleaned out, make sure all the mechanisms are working properly. Hammer goes, yeah, okay, yep.
And like you see these fingers kind of like peeking around the corner. And you see this this little boy. He's wearing a big, floppy hat, and he's got longer hair.
Don't hide, boy, come in.
Hi, mister. You're the one that's got the guns, right?
Gun, but yeah.
I heard you can kill anything with a gun.
You want to find out?
You're going to take me
with you.
Okay. My name's Coral.
How you doing, Coral?
I have a message for you.
I assume that was probably the case. You look like a messenger. You have that air about you.
And he like takes his hat off and like, and he goes, Brother Sebastian from the from over at the dry docks. And you all know the dry docks is kind of the informal name for the graveyard in this section of town, since everything has to be up in the mausoleums. Mm-hmm. He has Brother Sebastian at the dry docks wanted to see you. He said he's got business with you.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
And he holds out his hat for a second.
I flick him a copper. Bing.
And he bows and throws it back on top of his head with the copper under it and takes off. All right, Zindlane, what are you doing this fine morning?
I am. So remind me, I'm trying to find is it the apothecary shop that I got my packages at? Okay, yes. So I am sitting eating the last of a package of fresh muffins. I'm sitting, I'm kind of like I'm like sitting on my heels underneath the statue of Maris Solanius, with my coat hanging over one of the edges of the statue. And drinking the last of, and drinking a bottle of fine wine that I spent the last of my silver on from our last job.
And you see this girl walk up to you, and this girl, she's wearing like this bandolier of knives, and they aren't like really good, decent combat knives. It looks like she's scavenged knives from all over the place, but she just has like a ton of them strapped to her.
One of them looks like a butter knife.
Just what I was imagining.
Like
one of them
anything,
just a jagged piece of glass.
yeah. If it's got a handle and it looks relatively like you could stab or slash with it, she's picked it up and thrown it in this. And she comes walking up to you, and she takes a glance back at the statue of Morris and goes, "I want to be like that guy someday."
He is an inspiration, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know what he did, but I mean, he's got to be heroic. Why
Yeah.
you only get a statue if you're a hero?
Exactly. That's how it works. Nice smile at her and convincingly.
My name's Kina, and I have a message for you.
A message. Ah, very nice.
Yeah, Brother Sebastian wants to see you at the dry docks.
Oh, okay.
And
Dry docks.
And she waits for a second, and she kind of like holds out her hand.
I give her the bottle.
Thanks, mister.
Like 2 swigs left.
The circle of life.
Hopefully not too much backwash.
Oh, it's all backwash by now. This is Zindlane we're talking about.
I grab my coat off of the statue, and as I'm reaching up, you kind of see the collar of my shirt dip a little bit, and you can see like a purplish gem like kind of embedded in my chest.
Nice.
It's my spellcasting focus.
Ooh. All right. Did you have to pick your pack bond last time? Is that what?
I didn't pick my pack bond. I picked my Eldritch Invocations.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
so yeah. Well, I picked False Life and Mage Armor, so those will be fun.
Nice.
Mage Armor's really good. Love it.
At will.
So, yeah.
Super useful.
So, do you all head to the graveyard?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I head to the graveyard expecting trouble, and as you see, I'm walking down the street. You kind of see like some shadow like expand from the gem in my chest, and like all of a sudden my body bulks up a little bit as I get more hit points.
And you hear the voice in the back of your head saying, "Good, always be prepared." So when you arrive at the graveyard, you see that the gate is open. It's daytime, so that's not strange. But you also notice that the caretaker's house also has the front door wide open. And as soon as any of you start to show up, the Brother Sebastian will look out the door and say, "Oh, come on in, come in."
Brother Sebastian, it's good to see you. I take
Yes.
it.
Please, I don't know if you partake, but I have some coffee here.
Oh, coffee would be most excellent.
Absolutely.
Coffee.
Yeah, he looks over at
Yes,
Zinzlane
have
and
some.
goes, "You should have some of this."
Not the quality that I'm used to, but yes.
So, as I promised, I did some looking in with some of my fellows from the Shade Order, and we have some interesting information that I can impart back to all of you, and hopefully it will be of some use for you. It seems that particular combination of wards, while we do have what we would normally do for locking up the unfortunately unrestful dead, as we spoke of last time, the differences in this particular version of the wards seems to be accounted for by the fact that the additional wards were placed by the House of Odin. And we still have some incomplete records. regarding what exactly they were doing, but I do know that looking into it, in the past, whenever we have run across, for example, a fiend or an extraplanar being that has an affinity for the dead, we have co-opted the expertise of the House of Odin to help us craft certain wards. I can't say definitively that that's what's happening here, but if it were, say, a demon of some sort that had a particular fondness for raising or possessing undead, bodies, that might have been a case where we would have co-opted the wards that we created in that instance.
Fabulous. A demon.
I don't understand what most of those words meant, but it sounds like there's a bad thing out there.
Very bad, Zinlane. Very bad.
I mean, you said demon a lot and dead things, and like it knocked a hole in the wall, so...
Yeah, and unfortunately, even those details, there was some interesting bits about the combined wards that the House of Odin and our organization have made, but even then we couldn't directly identify anything that looked exactly like what you had described. But there is someone in this district who is somewhat of a scholar of the House of Odin. I don't know if you'd want to go see her, but I can pass her name along to you if you would like.
Every bit of information would be useful at this point.
Yes.
So Valkyrie Marley, she is she's an interesting woman. She is a priest of the House of Odin, and she is of noble blood, but living in this district. And she looks for a second at Zendlane like, not sure how that happens, but apparently it's happened more than once.
I just kind of look at him like confused, and then smile to myself and say, "Yes, I know how I got here." Off to the corner of the room, and then look back at him.
Nobles seem to be taking over the place.
Yes. Well, speaking of taking over the place, I don't know if you have ever heard of the gambling establishment known as the Well. But she runs that. And if you want an audience with her, you will probably need to find her there.
Assuming that you probably want some coin to go into a gambling establishment, I kind of just whisper over to Barrow.
Yeah, typically, unless I'm there for a job, you'll need to.
Ooh, yeah, we should get a job there.
Yeah, I've got a few contacts. I'm sure I could probably get us in there, possibly.
Currently a little short on funds. I've got some muffin crumbs.
Save those. You might be hungry later.
And Brother Sebastian brings out some bread. If you need some bread, you can certainly have some here.
Oh, I grab a loaf of bread and then kind of sniff it, and then turn my mouth sideways and hand it to Barrow.
Sweet, free bread.
Is there anything else that I can do to help you out? I'd just like to point out that this clearly shows that this wasn't any deficiency on the part of my order or anything that...
How convenient.
Please be advised that culpability in this affair is clearly outside the domain of the Luché, and I'll be taking my leave now. Good luck and don't die. Bye.
Well, I mean, if you do die, he'll take care of you. That's fine.
Of course you will. If anything else comes to mind, or you run into anything, or you hear anything, obviously give us a shout. We would appreciate it, and thank you for passing the information along to us.
And if we are able to clear this, an issue that is definitely not your fault, maybe there could be some compensation for it?
I mean, depending on what exactly happens and, any additional information, if it directly were to point to my order in the distant past that does not have anything to do with my particular functions, then yes, that would be something that I would be
sure that we could validate that your order had absolutely nothing to do for a price.
All
Yes,
right,
well.
Clumsden Lane. We can worry about those details at another time.
Oh, right, yeah. Gambling, right.
All right. So, what are all of you planning on doing at this point?
I think I'm going to ask Darrow to see if he can get me a job at this place, since he has contacts.
Well, I can ask around and see what's going on. We might be able to go there and see if one of the people are hanging out right now. It's a little early though.
Yeah, early morning is not usually some time to find people at a gambling den. Unless it's early morning and they haven't left yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only reason I'm sober is I was absolutely nursing that fine bottle of wine.
If we're lucky, we might find a few of them out in the gutters up front.
Bottles of wine?
No, the people.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they haven't finished theirs yet. That could be a possibility.
Oh. Well, we can at least go take a look and see what's going on over there.
Sure.
So, all of you exit the caretaker's house.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Together.
So, you notice there isn't anyone really here. It's about mid-morning at this point. There aren't many mourners out in the graveyard or anything. The ground is a little squishy and wet.
1 second.
Yep. And at the far end of the street, you notice a figure. And this figure is wearing like a dark gray coat, and it's a dark gray like long coat, and he's got like a hood pulled up partially over his head, and you see like wrapped around his body, he's got one hand on this handle, and there is like this bladed chain that is like wrapped around the coat and one arm. And he is getting closer and closer to your group.
I actually
have company.
We do.
Bladed chain. That looks imposing.
Does he look like he's about to attack us? Is he coming at us with
He's not. He hasn't it looks like it would take a little bit to unravel that. It just looks like he's kind of holding it like he has it, but if he were to try and attack you quickly, he would have had to start unwinding it, and he is moving with purpose towards you.
Okay, I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself. Okay.
And as he gets, probably, I don't know how close you'll let him get, but by the time he's at least like 20 feet away from you, he is going to look at Burrow and say, "You."
Yeah?
I need to call you out.
Uh-oh.
Well, okay.
You don't even know what those...
What do you think my friend has done?
He's got something he doesn't even realize he has. Those swords are going to be way more valuable to me than they are for you.
Well, if he has it, then they're his.
Yeah. Fighters keepers, right?
That's fine. I'm challenging you to a duel.
Okay. What if I just run away?
Well, I'll find you eventually.
That's true.
I don't need to kill you. We can fight to first blood.
How are you happier?
You'll be happier if you get rid of those swords. Trust me.
No, I don't think I will be. I kind of like him.
Do you
like a champion?
Are there any loose stones around that I could quickly pick up?
Yeah, I mean the cobbled streets here are in shitty condition. You can find it easily.
I'm gonna kind of like jam my toe underneath like a cobblestone or something and kind of like pop it up and quickly like chuck it towards him, like at him.
Okay.
to do damage or to distract him?
That's a good question.
Should I be readying spells?
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for distraction. I don't think it would do a whole lot anyway. Just kind
Okay.
of take him off guard.
All right. So here's my question. You do that. You kick that up in the air and you throw it at him. Would all three of you like to flee from him rather than dealing with him?
Are you guys getting ready or anything?
I'm getting ready to defend you because you're a friend of mine.
Yeah, I've got my hand on the butt of my pistol, and my thumb is kind of twitching on the hammer.
I'm feeling ready. I look like I'm ready to fight this guy.
Okay, I kind of look to the side of you two, and you guys look like you're ready. And with that, I'll be drawing my swords and say, well, you can come and try and get him, I guess.
All right, so I am going to, since we're resolving it that way, I'm going to roll a dex save and see how he reacted to actually throwing the rock at him in the first place. It gave your friends time to get ready. All right, so, wow, that is, I'm going to say, give me an attack roll. That's what we'll use for his difficulty here.
Are you going to treat it like an unarmed strike?
Yeah.
Okay, then it'll be 13.
All right, so he gets a 15. So as that comes at him, he kind of grabs it right here and throws it down to the ground. And then with his other hand, he just kind of disentangles the bladed chain and has it going. It's like, well, I wanted to do this as a regular duel, but I guess if I just need to beat all of you unconscious, I'll do that.
We'll see about that.
Let us roll for initiative here.
Ooh, good.
Oh, hey.
So this is easy because there's one opponent. So I'm just going to say, if you rolled higher than him, you go before him. If you rolled lower, you go after. And I don't care as much about the order in this case.
I got a 21.
He got an 11.
Nice. Yeah, I got an 18.
I got a 12.
All right. So all three of you go, and then he goes. So yeah, we're gonna say just throwing that rock was enough to throw him out. He could do the cool getting the whip out or the bladed chain out, but you all are still ready to go after him after he makes his threat. So, Zindlane, what would you like to do? You are about 30 feet away from him.
Okay, I'm gonna as he's undoing his chain, I'm gonna draw my sickle and move towards him. And as I draw it, you can see some purple energy emerge from my some greenish energy emerge from my chest and dance down my arm and along my blade. And I'm gonna try to attack him.
Okay.
For content, I cast Green Flame Blade, a cantrip, as I attacked.
Gotcha.
Which is a combo as with attacking.
Okay, so you're going to move up to him and then...
swing my sickle.
All right.
So I roll to attack. And that doesn't really good. I got a 12 total.
A 12 just barely misses him. So your flaming sickle, shears in at him, and he just very gracefully steps to the side of you.
Boo. Okay.
Bara, what would you like to do?
I am going to leap towards him with both the short swords, circular motions, trying to distract as well as try to land some hits.
All right.
So my first attack. Ooh, nice. That will be a 20 to hit.
That will hit him.
Okay. And that is 4 damage for that one.
All right.
And second hit probably won't hit. That's a total of 9.
No. So yeah, you tag him with the first one, but then he kind of rolls to the other side, just out of reach of your other sword.
And then bonus action, I am going to disengage
Okay. How far away would you like to go?
just 10 feet.
Okay.
Wait,
All right.
or is it half movement for disengage? I move 5 or 10 feet.
All right. So. Dun, dun. Oops. All right. So you back away. Garland, what would you like to do?
I draw the pistol, I aim it at his face, in the eye, and I say, "You can still leave. I don't want to kill you, and you don't want to be dead."
Give me an intimidate check.
Why, yes, I would love to do that. Why, no, that is not going to.
I mean, he could roll terribly.
That was a 7.
So modified because I did roll terribly. That was a 1 on his part. I am going to say he's not going to retreat because he really wants what Barrow has. I am going to say though that until Garland's next turn, he has disadvantage because he is distracted by Garland potentially shooting him. All right. So now that he has disadvantage, unfortunately, he is going to start, spinning the chain around him. And does a 16 hit Zindlane?
It does. I have AC 14.
All right. So it hits you there, but the arc keeps traveling out. And unfortunately, the bladed chain has a reach. So it shoots out 10 feet to potentially hit Barrow, but we'll see.
Wow.
Does a 13 hit Barrow?
Oh, no, it does not.
So it like whips right in front of your face, and then he pulls it back in.
Slow motion, just like right in front of my eyes.
So, Zindlane, you take 5 points of damage from the blade hitting you.
Cool. It kind of cuts into the shadow energy around my body and nearly dissipates it.
And then he can use his bonus action to disengage. So he is moving 10 feet away from Zindlane. All right. Zindlane, what would you like to do now?
I'm going to close back again and try to attack him again.
All right. You easily can close the distance.
Have some more green fire extend from my hold on a second, let me see here. Sorry. Next time I hit. Yeah, just gonna do another green flame blade as well again.
Okay.
And attack with my sickle. Oh, there we go. That's much better. That is a 23.
Yes, he does not. He basically tried to do the same, like faking one direction and then moving the other, and you knew which direction to go.
Right. Okay, so sorry, this is the first time I've used this spell. On a hit, the target suffers the attack's normal effects, and green fire leaps from the target to a different creature. Never mind.
But it looks impressive.
It looks really cool. Green fire dances all around him. That's not right. And then he takes. Sorry, my bouncing all around here. He takes 6 damage.
All right. Okay, so he gets a little scorched there, and gets a little clipped by the flame, and he is not happy with you. Barrow, what would you like to do?
I'm going to close. Did he move? He moved further away from. Okay.
Yeah. So you
did
have
he move towards me at all?
No, he moved back, so you would have to move 20 feet to reach him.
Okay. I will move up to him then, and then go in. Slightly different tactic, and just trying to strike from both sides while he's engaged. First attack is 22 to hit.
That definitely hits.
And I totally forgot about my sneak attack last turn, too.
Ooh. Well, you do have an ally right next to you, so...
Yep. So that's 6. So that's 9 plus 4. 13 damage for that one.
Nice.
All right.
And second hit will be 23 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
And that's a solid 6.
All right.
Nice.
And then I will disengage again and move 10 feet.
All right. Garland, I will say, in mechanical terms, he is bloodied, so he has definitely taken actual injury and not just been battered around and worn out. So, Garland, knowing that information, what would you like to do?
I'm going to stare him down again. You still got a chance to walk away.
All right. So after you say that, he holds out the chain like this, and he drops it, and he goes, "Clearly, you have allies that are willing to work in concert with you. Would you be willing to set a date for a future duel so that I could get those swords?"
This is all sorts of regulated. I don't know. I guess if it will get you off my back.
I'm just saying other people will be coming for them other than me.
Well, at least I appreciate the warning. What can you tell me about it if you're being so mysterious about this?
That's pretty valuable information.
I mean, we all let you live.
I was just going to say, Garland, I will let you make another intimidate check since you basically are still staring him down there.
I can't. Can I assist him with the intimidate and have some green fire dance around?
Yes, roll with advantage, Garland.
I also have a fairly decent intimidate, so
17.
Woohoo!
All right.
And I'm a little short guy just trying to look mean.
He looks over and he kind of looks and makes sure there's nobody paying attention from the graveyard or on the street. And he looks around and he goes, Your barge folk friend here does not know what he has there. You see, so those particular blades are they are a symbol of rank in one of the Assassin's Guilds.
Ooh.
Your friend is basically
you get those.
That's a story to tell.
Your friend is basically walking around advertising that he has a higher rank in one of the Assassin's Guilds to which he is not even a part of.
Stop chewing.
Well, if an assassin of that caliber can lose his swords...
They weren't much of an assassin after all.
I should say their swords. You don't know.
Hmm?
Yeah, I mean...
I didn't lose them, so it wasn't me. I'm just saying that if someone is lower ranked than those swords would indicate and they are a member of the guild, those swords are going to be very useful to them.
Huh, that's good information, I suppose.
Maybe you should just become a member of this guild. I mean, you already have the swords. You're
Uh,
halfway there.
I'd never want to be a member of a club that would have me as a member.
I mean, club memberships do have some very good value.
That's too much work.
True. I mean, yeah, it is a lot of work. So,
There's a lot of posturing.
They judge about things that they have no business judging about. But, I mean, swords.
I'm not lying when I say that I don't kill people for sport. Unless I'm getting paid, I have no use in actually putting someone down. So I wouldn't have killed you.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
You know what you can do? You can tell anybody else who thinks they're going to be coming for these swords that that's a crying shame that whoever lost them, but don't come looking for them. Period. Don't bother. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
I'll pass on the information I have gathered. Thank you very much. Have a fine day. And he kind of like, he wraps the chain back around him and then he like pulls the coat over the chains so that they're not as obvious and walks off down the street.
He seems like a fine fellow.
Now, what I would like all of you to do for me is make me a group stealth check for a particular purpose that I'll let you know if something goes wrong.
Stealth. I have some of that.
I have lots of that.
I have a little bit of that.
Oh, and my dice don't like me tonight.
I got an 8.
I'm doing pretty well. I got 23.
I got an 11.
Okay. I was going to say it's all on Garland, but I won't tell you how it went one way or the other.
We'll find out.
I will remind you all that all three of you do still have inspiration, though.
We do.
Can we use it after the fact?
As long as I haven't told you what the consequence of the roll was yet, you can't.
I'm going to keep my failure because I only get a +1 anyway, so.
Failure's interesting sometimes.
Yes. Yes, it is.
All right. So after that, what are you planning on doing?
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, that was amusing. We were on our way to go see if there was anybody around at the gambling establishment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Who was that guy anyway? He didn't seem to like you very much.
Yeah. There's a few of those around here. That's the first time I've run across that guy, though.
I'm gonna like stretch my muscles and cast my false life again, and you can kind of see more energy like if it come out of the gem, and I bulk up a little bit as I add 5 temporary hit points to my bulk.
And one important thing to note about temporary hit points is when you get more temporary hit points, they replace the previous temporary hit points. They don't.
Right. Yeah, I actually rolled a 6 and I had 1 less, so I added 5.
That's also a handy public service announcement to anyone watching this video, because I know there's many people that seem to forget that particular rule.
It would be very broken if it didn't work that way, since it's that will ability.
It's going to cast it a ton.
It's 1d4 plus 4 extra hit points, temporary hit points. So,
all right. So it's still mid-morning. Did you want to head to the well now, or did you have anything else you wanted to do at the moment?
To scout it out.
Yeah, I'd like to go check it out and see what a gambling den in this district looks like, because I'm guessing it doesn't look like gambling dens that I'm used to attending.
Full of dank.
Everybody, if you would, give me a history check. We're going to see if you know offhand where this establishment is.
I got a 5.
Ooh.
That makes sense that I do not know the answer to this question.
Apparently, I know nothing about this place. I got a whole 6.
Well, looking at my +0 for my intelligence, and my lack of proficiency in the history skill, the die says 18.
Oh,
So I like doing this, especially when someone isn't proficient in this. Garland, how did you hear about the well, the gambling establishment?
I actually worked for someone who sent me there.
That makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. I had to find a guy who was using someone else's money to gamble away, and I had to pop him a couple times in the nose. Send him a message.
So you know the proper route to wind around through some of the alleyways and get to this, and as you get close enough to actually see the well is actually it's effectively a 3-story building, but the bottom story it actually looks like the bottom of the first floor has been kind of emptied out, and the stairs lead directly to the second floor. And you've been in here before, Garland, and it's you've never really seen what's in the first floor, but you know there's all sorts of gambling tables around the outer perimeter here. There is a second story with a balcony that overlooks the second floor, and then there is just a hole in the middle of the room.
what's in the hole?
I think it's a
The
well.
well.
Oh,
The well.
yeah. That's why they called it the well.
That's my guess.
Could
In
be
case
a-
anybody forgot, I have a 9 intelligence.
That's not stupid. You're only one less than my 10.
Uh-oh, I'm the smart one here.
Yep.
Clearly.
Brains tonight. You also notice the place, its general state of repair is not so far above this district that it stands out too much other than its height. It looks like people are constantly fighting to repaint it, and this district and its natural sogginess and dampness and mold just kind of erode away any kind of work that people do on this building. It looks like, maybe back before people stopped working on the sewers underneath it, you could have maintained this as a nice building, and it might have been in that era, but it looks like it's been a couple decades since this was a decent looking building.
All right, then. So, is there anybody around?
Before we go, can I splash some mud on my face and kind of look less like a noble?
I don't think you really look super like a noble.
I mean, the main thing is covering up the ears.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what I
yeah.
want to do, kind of wrap a
Just kind
cloth.
of get
around
yourself
my
a
ear.
toque.
Yeah. I don't have a toque, so I'm just gonna rip a little bit of cloth off of my sleeve and wrap it around my head like a bandage.
Okay.
Our friend has a head injury. Don't mind him.
That would explain a lot.
You know what? Give me a disguise check.
Deception?
Is
Is there a disguise?
There's proficiency in a disguise kit, which you may not have.
I do not have that.
In which case, just give me a straight
Deception or performance, maybe?
No, actually, I was just going to just give me a straight let's see, just give me a wisdom check.
Wisdom, that'll be fun. I got a 5. It looks great.
So, I'm gonna say, since you didn't use a mirror or anything, you wrap this around your head and you tie it, and you're really proud of this job. And Garland and Barrow, you see one of his ears is just sticking out of the corner.
I look at him and I'm like, looks great.
Yeah.
So, what would all of you like to do at this point?
I look to Barrow.
Now that you're well disguised.
Yeah.
Try looking around for this person.
Where's the doorman here?
Have a doorman.
Well, they might have muscle at the door to keep out the, I don't want to say riffraff, but
Is there a muscle? Is there muscle there?
If you go up to the front door, there's a very tall woman with her hair back in a braid, and she has a quarterstaff next to her.
I kind of look to Borrow, and if he doesn't tell me no, then I'm good. And I look to Borrow, and I motion towards the front door. Should we just go in that way? Cool.
lead the way.
I walk up proudly and hand her my coat.
She looks at your coat for a second, and she throws it into the well in the center of the room.
Why did you do that?
Oh,
I don't think that's her job.
I think we both misunderstood each other.
I step forward and look down into the well.
It is pitch black. And if Garland and Barrow have a chance to come up next to you to look down, as both of them walk up to you and you look down there and it's pitch black, all of a sudden you hear this all that time later.
Oh.
Yeah, I was about to go get it for you, but not now.
Well, gotta send my sister a note.
Dear sis, lost my fancy coat. Please send a new one.
You do notice there's someone at the bar. There's no one at any of the gambling tables yet.
I'm sorry, who are we looking for again? I can't remember the name.
I do. Her name is Valkyrie Marley. She's a priest of Odin.
Yes.
Priest of House of Odin.
Well,
Somehow managed to take better notes when I'm playing a dumb character.
while they're looking into the well, I'll probably go over to the girl with the braid that Zinlane so wonderfully handed his coat to, and say, sorry about my friend there, but we're looking for a Valkyrie Marley.
Yeah, she owns the place. Lots of people look for her.
Yeah, we were told that she might have some information for us. Kind of a big deal.
Really?
Yeah.
I think she wants money.
Let's see, how much do I have left now? I will slip her something. I'm not completely stupid.
Dagger between the ribs?
No, I don't want to start anything. Yet. I will slip her 1 silver.
She looks at it. She looks outside like she's looking at what time of day it is. She slides it in her pocket. She goes, "Boss probably isn't too busy right now. Let me go check, but don't piss her off."
I appreciate it, and I do kind of like a silly bow.
I'm not kidding. You know what I did with the coat? And she points up at the balcony and she goes, "She'll do that from up there and not with the coat."
I start grabbing your elbow and your waist and correcting your bow.
You always lean too much with that bow. It's more,
Yes.
Well,
you need more angular. You need it more angular and balanced.
While he's fussing with me, I'm trying to kind of throw him off.
Gentlemen, comport yourselves. It's a very important important person here.
So she
Etiquette
walks
is
up.
important.
She walks up there, and you can barely hear a little bit of talking. And after a few minutes, she walks back down the stairs. She says, "Boss will see you. Mind your manners."
Of
And
course.
she motions to the stairs.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Barrow
we
lead
all
the
come
way.
together. Garland leads the way.
Barrow.
Barrow leads the way.
I'm not doing the talking, am I?
You don't have to do the talking. I'm letting you lead the way up the stairs
Ah, sure.
because
So-
you made first contact with the door person. So
You made.
I mean, I'll go
contact.
first. I like talking.
So,
I'm sure she's a civilized. I'm sure she's civilized. I look at the braided individual.
Just- You can speak to her, but just be aware of a sword pommel in your side if you go askew.
also
as you-
mind the drop.
Yeah, and you do notice like there's a railing, but then there is about a 5-foot gap in the railing,
Oh, shit.
right in front of where the well is.
Goes right down into the well.
This is clearly a safety violation.
Someone should talk to one of the guilds about that.
What is this, Star Wars?
So as you come up to the top of the stairs, you notice that this upper section, there's like nicer furniture up here. It's the same problem that everything has here. It looks just a little bit dingy, like you could tell it's supposed to be nice, but it's like the wetness and the mold and everything just kind of like starts clinging to everything in this district. But it's what would be nice furniture up here. There's some couches, there's some chairs, but in the center of this upper area are all of these bookshelves. And these bookshelves are just filled with different books, and there's a few racks that have like scroll cases in them, and it looks like a pretty extensive library that's just all sitting in this section here. And at the top, looking at one of these books, you see a woman, probably looking like she's in her 40s. She's got like some iron gray streaks in her hair, but she's got it pulled back into not the long single braid like the door guard, but it's a more, it's a broader, little bit more elaborate braid in the back. And she's got kind of like a medium brown skin, and she's got amber eyes. And you can definitely see like the slight point to the
Nice.
ears.
I walk up to her and execute like a perfect noble bow.
Get up. There's not that many of us here.
Yes, so few. It's so rare to be able to interact with someone who's civilized.
And you notice she's got like a nice like white shirt with like gold brocade on it, but like her arms are bare, and you notice like she's got like scars on her arms. She's seen some action here. Like she's wearing nice clothes and she holds herself very well, but you also get the feeling that she also moves with a certain economy of movement. Like if she needed to throat punch you, she could do so very quickly.
Right.
The way of the warrior.
So she looks at all of you as you come up there, and what I would like you to do is we are going to, before anyone makes any petition of her to see what her general disposition towards all of you is, I would like to do a group check for this first impression. And I would like each of you to select a skill that you think exudes from you as you first walk up the stairs and meet her. So let's start with Garland.
Well, I tend to be intimidating, so
Yeah, and I'm not saying that you are
I'm big,
intimidating.
I'm tough, yeah.
So go ahead and give me that intimidate check.
Oh, that'd be an 18. I like that.
Nice.
And Barrow, what kind of impression do you think you were making as you first walk up these stairs?
Something with acrobatics. I'm trying to think. I'm not going to be like showy, But I'll say I kind of do like a false trip on the top of the stair, but then I kind of do like a nice little roll and pop back up.
Okay.
Since Mr. Fancy Pants over here is being fancy. Ooh, nice. I got a 25.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Zindlane, what skill do you think would most impart the impression that you're making on her as you first meet her?
I am going to persuade her that we are worth her time, and that we are important, and that we are, and we know all the proper forms that should be followed in when addressing someone such as her.
Okay.
So I'm going to use persuasion.
All right.
18.
Okay. So, does anyone want to spend any inspiration to re-roll any of those?
I think I'm good with that.
I mean,
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a full success on getting her first impression of you. Doesn't mean she necessarily loves all of you, but you know she doesn't immediately take a dislike to you, so she's willing to listen to you. And the DC of whatever petition you may make of her is lowered.
Nice.
So what brings all of you here is I'm just now starting to start pouring the drinks.
I start like telling her an elaborate story about demons and dead things coming out of the sewers, and symbols being broken, and I need and she is the one who knows, and we've been told that she is the one who knows things.
So you've been to the sewers before?
I mean, not voluntarily. They're kind of disgusting.
as much as one needs to go to the sewers.
Try not to make a habit of it.
You know, I could definitely look through my library, and I'm pretty sure my library is more extensive than just about any place in this district. And I could find you whatever information you need.
Oh,
And
I have. Would it help if I showed you this? No, wait, that probably wouldn't help because. So I actually do that. I said, would it help if I showed you this? And then I put the dagger blade away because I forget that was the Lachey symbol.
What my friend is trying to say is that we have been notified that a certain mixture of Lachey and Odin follower magic has been used in the past to contain demonic entities with a penchant for inhabiting dead bodies. There's one loose in the city. And we need to know all that we can know about it.
And it was kept underneath the guardhouse.
Yeah, roughly in that area.
And you notice, like, it looks like some wheels are turning. She walks over to part of her library, and she pulls one of her books out, and she opens it, and she goes, I think I can narrow this down. But I have a business proposition for you, as long as you're going to spend time waiting for me to do research.
Yeah, of course. Favor for favor, right?
You know what Odin did for the masses?
No.
Odin sent out his eye for knowledge. And humanity didn't learn from that gesture. So constantly, in order to atone for this lack of responsiveness to the gift of Odin, we go out and look for knowledge and bring it back. And she gestures to her library. She goes, this represents knowledge that's been brought back to me. I have some knowledge that I would like brought back to me, and you have all been in the sewers. I'm going to say that since our interests align here, I will gladly pay you each. And she looks over all of you, and I am going to say So that is not a factor. So she looks over all of you. She goes, I'll pay each of you 100 silver.
Not bad.
I need a new coat too. Your brute threw mine in the hole.
I think we can cover the coat. Don't worry about it. What kind of information would you like us to bring back for that amount?
And she walks over to a desk and she starts rooting through it, and she pulls out a key ring that has two very heavy, intricate keys on them. And she goes, there was a vault that was established in the Undercity, and it was a storehouse of knowledge that had passed into the ownership of the House of Odin. And unfortunately, many decades ago, when relations fell through between the guilds and the Styx began flooding into the sewers, we couldn't recover the information that was in this particular house. I was just about to outlay some money to get one of our fine members of the Brotherhood of Sanitary Excavation to do some specific work to pay the tithe that our local representatives have been requesting of them, so that they can specifically open a passageway to where this is at. Now, granted, this can't take care of the wonderful civil engineering that we need to be done, but at least it'll throw some money their way, and it'll get us back the knowledge that Odin sent forth that should come back to us. These keys should open the vault.
So
Now,
when you say you were
yes,
when you say you were about to lay out the money to the Brotherhood of Excavators,
yes.
saying that instead you would like us to do this all?
No. I think you
Doing
still.
that.
Yes,
Okay.
that crew will clear the rubble from the region, so that you'll have the ability to enter the proper region. There's going to be some rubble that needs to be opened. We may need to cut open a wall to get in there. So that team will do that, and then you'll do the reacquisition, because I think we all know there may be some unpleasant things down there, but all of you look extremely fit for doing this sort of work.
We've been known to deal with some unpleasant things.
Back
You
in the
already did this
sewers,
morning.
I suppose 100 silver, that's a good amount. I think we could do it.
It's worth a trip to the sewers, that's for sure.
So 100 silver and the information that I can find in this library. Now, granted, that's going to be of use to all of us, because clearly the House of Odin is going to want to know if something that they had bound from this plane of existence is now free. But
We have been led to believe that it was bound from this existence a long time ago.
I know that our storehouse of knowledge has probably been flooded down there for at least 70 years, so it would probably be older than that even. And from what you remember looking at, it's way older than that.
Yeah, a little bit. I think I can safely say that we agree to your terms and are eager to get started.
When will the rubble be cleared?
Well, I will get a hold of that local representative. What was her name? Gina, I believe. I'll be contacting her and seeing when she can start working on it. But I imagine by tomorrow night you should be able to get into those sewers and bring back the information from the vault. It'll be exciting for all of us.
Mm-hmm. I turn around and I look at my companions and I mouth the Gina and go, okay.
So, what would you like to do up until tomorrow night?
Grease the skids with Gina. Something tells me she may not be as forthcoming with this task.
Do we know Gina? I forget.
We know Gina, yes. She's the one that was at the Brotherhood of Sanitary Excavators when we went there, and she's bored, and
Oh, that Gina.
yeah, and we almost freaked her out. Yeah.
Definitely
we did
nothing
freak her
going.
out.
We convinced her there's definitely nothing going on in the sewers.
Yeah.
This might not help that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should go tell her that we were scouting for this job.
Would you like to go see Gina?
Part of me thinks it would be wise, and part of me thinks it's going to be even worse. I don't know. What do you think, Barrow?
I think a nice.
Go ahead.
Nope.
I don't think I've got any opinion one way or the other.
Well, I think a nice bottle of wine would help convince her.
More than a handful of silver?
Does anybody have any silver to buy a nice bottle of wine for Gina?
Does anyone know where you could find a nice bottle of wine in this district?
Well, I mean,
there's some cellars out there, but I think that's a whole nother adventure itself.
No. Let me ask you this question, as a general city knowledge kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
The runners of Hermes, do they only pass information?
They might do small package delivery. I mean, they're all children, so they're not going to do. If they start carrying too much, then that gets into some of the guild territory.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was hoping maybe we could, finagle. Hey, kid, you want to earn an extra silver? Well, we won't go that route yet.
I mean, that's basically what Borrow does, and that's why the little kids don't like him.
That's okay. I can beat them up.
Most of them.
There is one kid. He's kind of a big kid. I like to cross him.
All right. Yeah, we should probably go have a conversation with Gina.
Fair enough.
All right. So now it's you're past midday. It's going into afternoon now.
Oh.
When you, yes.
Before we do that, is there a way to get more information? Oh, no, this is probably not something I would think of. Maybe it is. Is there a way? Yeah, it is. Is there a way for us to get more information about how the Rat Catchers Guild works and who her parents were, and how she got that posting?
Unfortunately, she's really the only point of contact for the Brotherhood of Sanitary Excavators.
Brotherhood of Sanitary Excavators. Okay.
You could check in with your enforcer friend and see if they know anything about her.
Shanae, what's her name?
Shania.
Shanae.
No.
Shania is the watch
Griffin.
officer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not who you're talking about.
Abara is your thug friend that you.
My Rat Catchers Guild lieutenant. Yep. Well, if we don't need to go talk to Gina right away, I'd like to go talk to Abara.
All right. The moat house is definitely open by.
Is that okay? Or do we need more information? I'd like to get more information about this Gina person so we could figure out what levers to pull on her.
Yeah.
So I have a background of courtier, so I'm used to playing bureaucracy people against each other. And granted, I use my pretty more than my smarts, but
you at least know how the things work.
Yeah. I have experience with these bureaucracies.
All right, so you all head over to the moat house.
Yeah.
And you see the adjacent building to the larger, nicer, relatively building where all the guild leaders go to. And you go into the moat house, and the moat house, they intentionally haven't opened up any of the windows, so you get the dual dual blessing and bane of it smells very musty and old alcohol and maybe a little vomit, just a hint of urine in this room, but it's cooler here than it is out on the streets because they haven't opened any of the windows up yet and it's still pretty dark and they only have like a couple lanterns burning so far.
That is a blessing, because if it was hotter, then that smell would.
So you walk into the moat house, and the bartender is like, "Hey, haven't seen you for at least 2 weeks." And he doesn't actually look at his wrist. He looks over at the water clock. That
I just kind of ignore him, and I look around to see if Ibarra's in the bar.
yeah, Bara is kind of sitting in the corner. Basically, she is. She's got a drink, but it's not like hard alcohol. She's got like a cider, and she's basically filling out paperwork, calling over some other people from the cadre of vermin catchers, and basically handing out assignments for the day. And she sees you, say, "Zenlane, how you doing?"
Ah, Ibarra! Oh, fancy meeting you here. I like go up and like sit next to her, like so I'm not in her way of her work.
I said, "Hey, I think I've seen your friends around, but I don't think we've ever been formally introduced."
So, oh yes, these are my companions. We're surviving the streets together, and the whole getting to know how this part of the city works. This
Watch
is
each other's backs.
Yeah, we just got into a fight earlier today. It was great.
Wow.
This is my friend Barrow Broomhill, and then Garland Bach.
Hey.
Bach. How do you pronounce your last name?
Bach.
Bach.
And everybody give me an insight check.
All three of us?
Yeah.
Not my best
Get a little
thing.
bit of that.
Got a 13.
Ooh, I did all right. I got a 16.
A 15.
All right. You all notice that her eyes linger on Barrow's swords for a few seconds.
Of course they do.
I do look to the bartender and I say, "I'll have what she's having."
And he'll bring you over. It's just basically a cider. It's alcoholic, but it's not like heavily.
Look good.
So
So I
she
need
looks.
a favor.
She, like, as you're asking for this favor, she looks at Garland and Barrow and goes, I have seen people get so messed up that they had alcohol come out their nose before, but I've never seen anyone have it come out their tear ducts before.
That does not surprise me.
I think he's
what
made
can
of
I do for
alcohol at
you,
this point.
I need a favor. I need some information on one of the members of the Sanitary Guild of Excavators. The
Brotherhood of Sanitary Excavators?
Brotherhood of Sanitary Excavators. Yes, Garland. Thank you for. I can never remember what they're called.
These guys have way too. The names are way.
You say to the representative of the cadre of vermin catchers. Oh yeah, Gina. Like they don't even bother posting more than one in this district anymore. And she kind of like smiles, a self-satisfied smile. Like
she seems like she got the posting based on who she is more than what she can do. I want to know more about who she is.
Oh yeah. Well, there was a story going around about her. You know why Grandmother Shark is called Grandmother Shark, and that is the local guild leader for the vermin catchers.
Mm-hmm.
See, she she took a job one time to kill something that was coming up out of the sewers, and she swam through the waters and killed it with just carrying a knife in her bare teeth.
Whew.
And ever since then, that's where her name's come from. Well, it turns out at that point in time, the local sanitary excavators were trying to make a push to convince the city to force the vermin catchers to quit exacting the tithe that we need to keep this district clear of vermin, because we all agree we need that extra tithe in order to clear the vermin, because we have an especially dangerous vermin problem here. And she nods like it's like everyone has to reflexively agree with this. Well, they were making that push, and her parents actually were stationed here at the time, and rumor has it that her father got into it with Grandmother Shark at while they were in the water dealing with this creature. He was kind of stepping on her toes, thinking that if he could get rid of this impediment to fixing the sewers, that he wouldn't need the cadre, and then he could go back to the city and explain that he had done the job around them. And well, the excavators were so impressed with him standing up to her that even though they still won't allot any extra money to fix this district, they promoted him to a management position. He's still got a scar from that fight with her. And well, he had his daughter stationed here basically as a thumb in the eye to Grandmother Shark.
Awesome.
Man, you all live a complicated life.
Hey, things wouldn't be so complicated if they just pay their tithe. There is an exceptional amount of vermin in this district. I think we can all agree on that. And it's like people around the bar, every time she says that, just like reflexively nod when she says that.
Huh. That's good to know.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, do you two need a drink? I'll cover it for you.
Oh, yes. Anything good?
You're offering.
And she takes the bartender and says, nothing too expensive.
Shelf.
So you both can get a drink, and most of this is still just kind of chit chat after this point, unless you want to ask her any other specific questions.
No, I just want to I want to further my I would talk shop with her a little bit and talk up how important the Ratcatcher Guild is. And
oh yeah, we have an exceptional number of vermin in this district.
Yeah, so many vermin. You are so necessary.
All of the vermin, just there's quantities. Bigly vermin.
All right, I think
even the vermin have vermin.
I think we could head to Gina now, unless anybody else has any ideas.
No.
I got nothing.
All right. So by the time you finish schmoozing here in the afternoon, it is going to be early evening and almost time for Gina to close up the office again.
Well, at the same time we showed up last time. There you go.
We're going to keep you from going home every night.
So the sun is getting ready to go down, and you see Gina is getting up from her desk as all of you are at her front door, and she looks through the front window.
Hi, Gina.
She opens the door. What brings you to the office of the proud Brotherhood of these sanitary excavators?
Exciting news.
Yeah. We get to work together.
A contract for some excavation and cleanup.
And she looks on her desk because she has received a contract for a local excavation, and she goes, "Oh shit, this has to do with you, doesn't it?"
No, it has nothing to do with us. No, this is big business for someone else. However, the completion of this particular project would be useful to us.
So
I wanted to make sure that you got the contract and everything's cool.
So what I understood from this contract was there was just an old vault down there that someone wanted cleaned out. Now that I see all of you, I'm worried that this has to do with these vague monsters that totally don't exist.
No.
That was
No,
purely
this-
hypothetical. No.
Nothing to do with monsters. This is just some old stuff in a vault that we got to go get.
Because
Mhm.
We need to make sure we can get to the vault.
Because this is going to be the first time that our guild has actually done work in several decades here, and this might actually look good if we were to try and get any city officials to try and pressure the cadre into letting us do our work without the tithe, even though our benefactor has clearly paid the tithe so that we can do this work right now.
I mean, imagine how good it would look. Imagine how good this would look to your father. How you have gotten the first contract in years. Like, you can sell that so well as to how good of a job you're doing. Your father's going to be so impressed.
Be quite a feather in your cap if you wore a cap. He's not wearing a cap, but you know what I'm.
So I am going to let all of you make a group check to see how well she takes this news that all of you will be there. Zindlane, you may roll with advantage because you mentioned doing her father proud.
I think persuasion again, if that's okay.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know how. Is there a way to actually roll with advantage, or just push the button twice?
In the roller for
D&D Beyond.
I haven't seen an advantage thing yet on there.
You would think they would have one.
Yeah, but they just got the dice roller up and running, so
That's true.
Yeah, I suppose.
All
right, I got a 15 and an 18, so I'll take the 18, please.
The hell am I going to roll here? I mean, hell, I'm being all friendly and stuff, but I'm still kind of an intimidating guy, so.
Don't worry about the monsters. We'll worry about the monsters that don't exist.
Ooh. I'm clearly trying to be super friendly and stuff, and I'm intimidating. So the 5 that I got is.
You put a little bit too much emphasis on we can kill monsters that aren't there.
If there were monsters.
How did Barrow do?
So I'm leaning on there's totally not monsters. There's nothing. I mean, we were just joking, it's all hypothetical.
Do a backflip. She loves those.
I'm using my deception, and
Okay.
I got a total of 13.
Okay. Would anyone care to use their inspiration before?
I think I'm going to use I'm going to use an inspiration on that one.
I'm going to ride my 5. I have a plan B.
Okay, that's much better. Yeah, that time I got a 18.
So you get a success. You don't get a total success, but you get a success. The majority of you made a good impression on her. And she kind of looks at Garland and kind of shakes her head. And she's like, all right, we have to take this job anyway because it's going to look good. It might change things in this district. And
I think
honestly,
it's huge.
Yeah, we need to start getting these sewers fixed. It's ridiculous that they're just getting rich off of keeping this district floating in muck. So we got to do it. However, just to make sure, okay, so just so that if it comes up, you guys don't get in any trouble, sign this. And she pulls out a piece of paper that grants you the rights and privileges as members of the Brotherhood of Sanitary Excavation for the term of 48 hours.
Ooh.
I like this.
Is there a catch to this, or is this like in good faith, or?
This is basically so that if one of the other guilds shows up and says, well, all of you can operate here, but what about them? You don't get shaken down for more bribes or potentially beat up, roughed up,
Okay, so this is a general standard contract and in good faith. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Excellent.
yeah, she didn't need to extend this to all of you. She could have just let
It was a kind offering.
Yeah.
I will gladly sign.
Yeah.
I can't be called a scab twice in or
I've never
two
been a
times in a week.
guild member before.
And you won't be after 48 hours.
This is a new experience.
And she's like, well, unfortunately, we have to do this at nightfall. And
Like tonight?
No, not tonight. Tomorrow night.
Oh, tomorrow night. That's right. Yeah.
But I think just to make sure that everybody's safe, even though I know there's not going to be anything with this, I'm going to bring Sarah. And you hear, like, in the other room,
Hi, Sarah.
And I do have a few other people, because I know you're doing the extraction work. We'll be doing the heavy lifting. I have about 3 or 4 other people that are coming over from one of the other districts to help with the excavation.
All right.
All right. Well, I will see all of you then.
Excellent. Looking forward to working with you all.
Have a good evening.
Yeah. You notice she does seem a little bit more at ease than 2 weeks ago when you had your first meeting with her, though. So she slides a bowl of some slurry into Sarah's room, locks up the office, and heads down the street. It is getting dark, and you're seeing far in the distance lights start to come on.
Hey,
As you
Barrow,
see,
do you
like-
have any of that bread left?
Sure. I pull out, tear off half the chunk and hand it to him.
Smells much better now.
Got some flavoring from my bag.
Everybody knows almost stale bread is better than fresh bread. It's got a little more
Bread
bite
just-
to it.
Bread when you haven't eaten for half a day is much better than bread when you just ate tasty muffins.
So yeah, you notice down the street, like as it starts getting darker and darker and the sun is going down, the lights are coming up, and you see a dark figure holding an extended lamplighter going.
Anybody
out.
want to hang out, talk to the lamplighter?
I
Yep.
mean,
I
that doesn't
think
sound
I'm
like a
good.
All
idea.
right. Yeah. Drinks.
Are you buying?
I'll buy you one.
As you say that, Garland, you see in this narrow row home out a window, you see a woman that looks really familiar, and she catches your gaze for a second, and she sees you, and she looks almost shocked, and then she withdraws back in the window and closes it. What do you do?
Wait a minute. I think I just saw.
Who? What? Is it a demon undead monster?
No. Somebody I sort of met once.
Oh.
Maybe.
And
Well.
Zindlane, in your head you hear, "Is your friend addled?"
Maybe he just is talking to somebody. I mean, sometimes we talk to people.
It would be ridiculous if he was talking to someone that wasn't there.
Well, I mean, maybe there is somebody there and he just doesn't know it. Or I don't know it. Or whatever.
Are you saying this out loud?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You definitely need a drink. One drink, though, because we don't need you to get super drunk tonight. I make note of where this house is.
When you look back to see where this house was at after you talked to Zindlane talking to himself, there is no row house there. There is only an alleyway.
Wasn't there a house there just a second ago?
Neither one of you saw a house.
So,
There was
I think
always
we all
an
need some
alleyway there.
drinks.
There was always an alleyway there.
On the other hand, maybe he is seeing things.
I told you.
All right. Go get that drink. It's been a long.
Under my breath, I'm like, I'm the only sane one here.
Define sane.
See, what's sad is we don't have the bard that talks to birds.
Yeah. Because that would clearly help.
I'm still the most sane here.
You're the smart one and the sane one.
I need to ask John.
How does that make you feel?
We're screwed. Or it could just make for some really interesting adventures.
Yeah.
I'm beefy and pretty.
Fabio.
I was going to say I'm beefy and pretty, but depends on who's talking.
So, do you want to accomplish anything specific, or do you just want to drink, rest up, take your short rest, and then start off the next day?
Yeah. Long rest? Oh, short rest.
Oh, that'll be a short rest because because we're using the optional rules.
Yes, we are. I would say have a drink, relax, do the short rest, and gather resources for tomorrow.
Okay.
Maybe take a $5.
Yep, I was just going to suggest that. So I will go ahead and pause the recording. Everybody, please take a break. And if you're watching this, once I get it posted, we'll be right back.
All right.
Resume. Hey, we're recording again. Hey, we're back from our break, and our group just woke up from a normal, stable night of having a reserved amount of drinks and sleeping and stretching and taking a short rest. For anyone that hasn't seen the earlier videos, and shame on you, you should go back and watch those. We are using the alternate rules from the DMG, which are also mentioned in the Streets of Avalon, which is a short rest is actually an 8-hour rest, and a long rest is a full week of resting up from adventuring. So our group, having slept for the night, can take a short rest. I think
it's very hard for me to switch out my weapons.
I think Zendlane is the only one that got hurt that last time.
And I only lost temporary hit points. So.
Oh yeah. So you're good.
Nice.
Yeah, I like this spell or this warlock pact.
So, about what time do all of you normally wake up in the morning?
Noon.
I think we're going to wake you up a little sooner this time.
I'm usually kind of a up at sunrise type, I think. Like to watch the sunrise.
All right. Is there anything you want to accomplish before early evening when you start going to the excavation site?
I'll probably take a nap at some point.
That's pretty good.
It's gonna be
I'm going to make sure all the gear, all the weapons are in tip-top shape. You know, run a whetstone over the sword, clean the pistol again.
Okay.
Do we want to review like the maps, the sewer maps, to see what the space looks like?
That's
yes,
a good idea too.
I was going to say, I should mention, she did give you a map, which doesn't it doesn't make a lot of sense now because you'd have to actually see the intersections once they get it excavated. But I mean, you can look at it and see there's like, you know, a long passageway and then like a few side passages, and it's got marked which side passage you should go on.
I take like 5 minutes to look at it, and then I mutter to myself, yes, this is why I normally have staff to do these things.
Why are all these lines going this direction and these lines going this direction?
This is also complicated.
So as you're kind of sitting around looking at the map, all of you hear a commotion out in the street.
Kind of commotion.
A welcome interruption.
People screaming, actually.
That's
Can we look out the window?
Why, yes, you can. When you look out the window, you see three of the big burlier enforcers from the cadre of vermin catchers, and they have their big beefy clubs that they carry with them, and they are just beating the living shit out of just random people in the street. And this doesn't look like a normal shakedown. All of you have seen like normal shakedowns. This is like as soon as someone gets near, they grab them and start pummeling them. And
Whoa.
there is just like their mouths are hanging open. They're just like brutally savaging these people.
Well,
That's unusual.
that's not right. I'm gonna rush out there.
Cool, I'll follow you.
Yep.
I feel compelled to intervene.
All right.
What?
So
What's going on,
Hey.
Garland? I'll follow your lead.
Hey, ugly. Pick on someone your own size.
I want to cast a spell, if that's possible right now.
yeah, by the time, you can take a few seconds and do that.
Yeah, as we're walking out the building, I'm like, oh shoot, we're doing something? Oh gosh, okay, well, I'm gonna cast my my false life, or my, what's it called? My my false life spell, and get some temporary bulk.
All right.
So I have 6 temporary hit points.
Okay. So as you go out there, you see these. Actually, give me, all of you, give me a perception check.
Yeah, 2.
What is your
18.
15.
what is your passive, Zindlane?
9.
Okay. You still don't notice anything. Garland and Barrow, you notice 2 specific things about these thugs. One, there are no whites to their eyes. Their eyes are like all black. And the other thing you notice is at first it just looks like their skin is scratched up. But when you look a little bit closer, the scratches look like symbols of some sort.
These guys are being manipulated or controlled.
That would explain a lot.
We should stop them
All right.
before they get themselves into any trouble.
Would you
How
all
many
like-
are there, is it looking like?
There are 2 at the moment.
Okay.
At the moment.
Well, I will say this. I mean, it depends on whether any local griffins decide to show up and save the local people. That could complicate matters.
Cops to the rescue.
So, if you would all like to roll initiative for me.
That's not terrible. 15.
Oh, yeah.
I
got it.
9.
18.
9. I'm last.
We'll see what they get.
What did Garland get?
15.
And what did Barrow get?
18.
All right. All right, Barrow. You can go first.
About how far away are they right now?
Probably about 15 feet because they're in the street and you're just inside opening the, seeing them. So.
Okay. I kind of motion to everybody else and say, I think I have a way that we can subdue them. And I pull out a bag of ball bearings and scatter it out in front of us.
Okay.
Waiting for them to fall and trip and all whatnot.
Okay. How much area does that usually cover?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't. 10 feet square area, 10 feet on a side.
All right. So I will mark that. Between you and them, there's that 10 feet that is now all messed up there. All right. That was Barrow. Would you like to move or anything other than tossing those out?
No, I'm kind of waiting for them to fall to potentially try to knock them out.
Okay.
Actually, No, I guess I've already taken an action, so.
Okay. I mean, if you have a bonus action, you could still do that. You could still move, but I don't know if you
Right.
have any bonus actions that.
Nope. I just have my disengage and hide and all that.
Okay.
So.
All right, Garland, what would you like to do? There is now this big square of ball bearing between you and the thugs.
Yeah, before I get all physical up in their face, I'm going to try one thing. I'm going to dig into my thieves' tools, pull out the mirror, and see if I can shine a light in their eyes.
Okay.
If it has any effect on, based on the fact that their eyes aren't normal, I'm going to see if I can still affect them in that manner.
Okay. I am going to make a save for them. What is give me what is 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your dexterity?
8 prof and dex. That is an 11.
All right. So you managed to shine it in his eyes, and he kind of squints, but he doesn't close his eyes, which would be super painful.
Yeah.
So it's having some effect, but not like it should.
Right. Fair enough. Let me go for the beatdown.
All right. Anything else you would like to do?
I'm going to maneuver myself around the ball bearings.
Okay.
And prepare to grapple with them.
All right. You should have
the
just
abstract
enough
sense, not the seriously specific sense.
Okay. So you have just enough movement that you can go wide and get next to one of them by going wide around that. All right. Now it is the thug's turn, and you are right next to one of the thugs.
Yeah, baby.
So, thug number 1. Ooh, ouch. So, does a 22 hit you?
Yes, it does.
Oh, wait, no. He has advantage. Okay, the 22 was the low roll. Or no, he has disadvantage because of the mirror, but he rolled a 17 and 18. So the 17.
All right then.
So his cudgel smacks you for 5 points of damage.
Of course it does.
And now he is going to swing at you recklessly again. And does a 16 hit you?
Yep.
So you take an additional 4 points of damage. So basically, he slaps you one direction and then brings it back around the other direction and slams you again. And then the second thug, you notice they don't seem to be processing cognitively well. And since Barrow rolled all those things out, like, you got this one's attention by shining the mirror in his face. And this one runs straight at Barrow, so he's running straight through. And I am going to have him roll a dex save. And
DC 10.
So I was having him roll with disadvantage since Garland did the mirror trick on them, and he manages to get a 7. So he lands flat on his face as he starts running through there. But you hear this weird crunching, and he looks up, and you notice he's broken some of his teeth on the ball bearing.
Oh,
Blood is streaming out of his face, and it's not registering at all.
Yep. It's gonna get ugly, boys.
And Zindlane, you now have, there's a prone one 5 feet away from you.
Sure, yeah. I think that this calls for some actual force. So I'm gonna do my dancing green fire trick with my sickle,
Okay.
and light him up a bit.
Okay.
Oh, well, a 13?
13 will hit him.
Oh, nice.
Actually, you have advantage to hit him because he's like laying on the ground.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see
With
what
ball
the
bearings in his teeth.
second roll would be. Not better. Okay. All right. Well, let's see what damage is going to do here. 6 damage.
All right.
Is there another one within? Is the other one within range of my spell? Within 5 feet? Oh no, within 5 feet of this guy.
Yes.
They're more than 5 feet apart or less.
He is 5 feet across.
So sorry. The 2 thugs are 5 feet apart.
Yeah.
Oh, great. The second creature takes fire damage equal to my spell casting ability modifier. So 3 fire damage.
All right.
As the green flame dances around the prone one and to his friend.
And Garland, have you ever seen anyone set on fire before?
Pretty sure.
So compared to other people that you have seen get set on fire, this guy, like, it's obviously burning his flesh. Like, it's not that it's not harming him, it's that he's not reacting to it burning his flesh. So it's clearly damaging him, but there is like no recognition going on. All right. So that was the thug's turn and Zendlane, and now we come back to Borrow. What would you like to do? You can either go around your ball bearings, or there's the one that's still prone because he hasn't had a chance to stand up yet.
With the one that's still prone, I'm going to try to use the pommel of my sword and hit his temple, trying to, knock him out.
Yep. Yeah, and I was going to say, anyone in 5e, and I actually like this, if you're using a melee attack and you bring someone to 0, you decide whether or not you kill them or just knock them out.
I was just looking that up just to make sure.
Yeah. I actually like that because it means, makes it easier. Sometimes you don't want to kill people.
Yeah.
All right, so I probably an 11. Oh wait, it's advantage. He's prone. So let me roll again. Oh, that's much better. That would be a 22.
Oh yeah.
And d6. That would be 6 plus. Go back to my 10. 9 damage.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna get my sneak attack in there for an extra 2.
Okay. So that one is I know I mentioned his teeth were broken out and he was bleeding before. Now he is bloodied from the actual damage that you are doing to him. So mechanically, yes, he is bloodied. All right. Garland, what would you like to do?
I pull my longsword and I smack this bugger up.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, for crying out loud. Seriously? Yeah, 10's not going to hit him. Damn it.
No, you just barely missed this one, and he does not have disadvantage. The mirror thing wore off of him now, too, so...
Do I want to do that? Oh. You know what? The citizenry is in danger. I use my action surge.
Okay.
And I will swing at him again.
Yeah, that is more painful when it takes longer to get a short rest, isn't it?
Hey, that was a 1 plus 5.
Oh, man. So, yeah, Garland, you're having a hard time. And I think, honestly, it's not that you're having a hard time, muscling in. You know how to manhandle people. It's that he's just not feeling any pain. So,
just oblivious to what's going on.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Some weird
Alright.
stuff, guys.
All right,
Yep.
so now it is Thug's turn, and the weird thing that you notice is the one on the ground with the ball bearings doesn't try and stand up. He just starts like swinging at your ankles.
Oh gosh.
So, Zindlane,
Yeah, he's probably not going
Man.
to miss.
these guys are at disadvantage and they keep rolling. He gets
Oh,
a 16
no.
and an 18.
Yeah,
So,
that hits.
yeah, I was gonna say a 20 still hits you in the ankles. He does
Quite-
3 points of damage as he swings at your ankles, and then he flails at Barrow's ankles
Oh, no.
and does a 12 hit Barrow.
No, it does not.
Okay.
Good. That would have hit me.
And unfortunately, Garland is facing this other guy on his own, so he just hey, that was probably better. 10 doesn't hit Garland.
No.
Good. Does a 13 hit Garland?
No.
All right. So yeah, at the very least, hitting him and watching him not feel pain at least gave you a little bit of a measure for the cadence of his swings, so you could get just out of reach of him as he is swinging at you there. So that was the Thug's turn, and Zindlane, what would you like to do?
I am going to let's see here. Sorry. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do my green flame sickle again. And the sickle does standard damage, so I should be able to do, if I do enough to him, I should be able to just knock him out.
Yeah.
Does that sound fair? Okay.
Yep.
He's still down, so I get advantage?
Yep.
I don't think I'll need it, but 17 and 20.
All right.
All right, so I do 5 damage to him and 3 damage to his friend. 3 fire damage to his friend.
All right.
This is a fun little spell.
Mm-hmm.
See, Garland, if you just stand here long enough, these flames that keep shooting and burning him that he's not noticing
Yeah.
will just take him out.
Just keep him distracted while he burns.
All right. So this thing over here that I'm tracking is now up to 18 to 20, which I'm not telling you what I'm tracking, but
Oh, no.
for each round, it's getting a wider range. Okay. So round 3, Barrow, what would you like to do?
All right, I see Garland having some troubles with his guy, so I'm going to dash over beside Garland and
Okay.
Attack his guy.
All right.
First sword is a 21 to hit,
That definitely hits.
and ooh, nice, 2 6s, so 12, 15 damage.
All right. And he is now bloodied.
And then my
Nice.
second sword attack. Damn, I'm killing it tonight. 23 to hit. And that'll be a 2.
Okay. It's the downside to being the 2-weapon rogue is that first attack always feels so substantial, and the other one is like, and there was much less damage.
I was kind of thinking too, coming at him, like trying to not kneecap him. What's the hit? Like hit the Achilles or whatever.
Oh, hamstring him.
Hamstringing him. That's the term I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, so he is bloodied. You notice like he's not showing pain, but he like buckled with that hit. So physically, he is starting to break down. And it's not a thing like he's undead or anything. He's sweating. His body is bleeding. Like it's processing like a normal person. It's just like someone shut off his nerve endings and he's not feeling anything. All right, Garland.
Yeah, I mean, let's try this again. Let's see if we can get a good hit in his 15.
A 15 will hit him.
Yay. And he's going to take 8 points.
Okay. He's very wobbly, but he is still on his feet.
All right.
And he is going to wobble in both of your faces with his club. Does a 15 hit Borrow?
Yes, it does.
All right, Borrow, you take 4 points of damage as his club crunches into you.
Oof.
And holy crap, he really likes hitting Garland. Does a 20 hit Garland?
Yes, it does.
6 points of damage for Garland.
Ouch. Bro.
Oh,
Gonna be able to make it tonight?
Might be a good die. Bonus action is coming up very, 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 very soon.
are you
Second
bloody?
wind is going to be.
All right, so that was the Thug's turn. Zindlane, what would you like to do?
This seems to continue to be working, so I'm gonna do it again. He's still on the ground, so I still get advantage. So hopefully I'll get some more flame action. So that is not a very good roll. It teetered on a 15 and turned into a 10. Hey, that 21 will probably hit.
Yes.
And then I do 5 damage to this one and 3 damage to the other one.
All right.
Not a lot of variance when you're rolling a d4.
Yeah. So this one looks pretty wobbly, but here is the thing. The flames engulf this one and he falls over.
Yeah.
Because the flames hitting him is not a direct melee attack, he is dying. Would either of you like to try and stabilize him on your turns? If so, I will start tracking death saves for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So that was Zindlane's turn. Now it is, first, that range is 17 to 20. Or whatever it is I'm tracking there.
Some nebulous thing.
All right.
It's not important.
Borrow, would you like to do something? He is on fire on the ground dying, but you don't need to deal with that if you don't want to.
I think the good part of me is going to try to extinguish the flames and get him stabilized.
Okay.
Do I need to do any sort of medicine check or anything?
Yes. If you could give me a medicine check to see if you can stabilize him.
12?
A 12 is enough because it is a very simple check.
Cool.
So yeah, you pat out the last remaining smoldering flames and you bind up, where he's actually got some blood coming out of him and he's breathing a little more easily at this point.
Are the like symbols on them, are they glowing or anything?
They're not glowing. It's just if you've ever seen what scarification looks like,
Okay.
like when somebody burns a scar so that it's permanent,
Mhm.
that's what it looks like, but they're really intricate, all over his skin.
That's not fun.
Yes. Look a bit deeper into it after everything's resolved, I think.
Okay, Garland, this guy is stabilized now. What would you like to do?
How you doing over there, Zinlane?
I'm doing pretty. This is great. I'm having fun. I mean, I'm just kind of dancing around over this guy here, and he's not looking so good.
Right, try and keep him alive. We want to ask him some questions if possible.
Oh.
And
yeah,
I'm going to
good
look
idea.
to the crowd and ask, did anybody see where this started?
And the response you get back is they look like they were going to work like they always do, but then they just all of a sudden pull out their clubs and started hitting anybody in reach.
Fun. That's messed up, man.
All right, so Thug on the ground is still just going to flail at Zindlane's ankles.
Doesn't take much, so.
It does a 16 hit.
Yes.
Ankle slam. That is 5 points of damage.
Ouch. That actually does real hit points.
We're going to nickname that cudgel Ankle Biter.
And I think the 9 probably misses.
The 9 thankfully does miss, yes.
All right, so now it is Zindlane's turn.
All right, Zindlane is going to try to put this guy out of his misery with the sickle.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's see here. That's a 17. Can I get a crit? That'd be nice. No, I cannot. That is a 17, so let's do 6 points of damage. And there's nobody to dance for the flames to dance to.
Unless you want to set Barrow on fire.
Yeah. The thought occurred to me. But...
I hit Garland too. I mean, both of them are still relatively close. So I am going to assume, since you're hitting him directly with a melee attack, however, do you want to kill him or just knock him out?
I just want to knock him out.
Okay. So he is at 0 hit points and stable, not dying.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to make, one more check there. Here is my question for all of you. You have a feeling that some griffins will show up eventually, and they'll probably ask some questions. I will let you drag all of them into a corner or into an alley so that you can talk to them without the griffins catching you, without making any checks, if you pay me a point of heat.
What's the point of heat?
It's trouble with the griffins.
Yeah, basically, spending heat. The DM can spend heat to complicate situations on a one-for-one basis. Here are some example spends. An individual organization takes an interest in what the PCs are doing.
Yeah. Let's do that. I think we should drag them to a corner, like an alleyway, and have we could have my friend we could do my friend a solid so that her guildmates aren't accused of some heinous acts.
Yep, I think that's a good idea.
So you managed to drag them to the alleyway. The people in the crowd describe all of you. So the griffins don't, come looking for you, but they know that you were involved in this, which is where the heat comes from, basically.
Absolutely.
So while the crowd is telling them about you, you're still dragging them wherever you want, and they're not ambitious enough to look for you at the moment.
Yeah. And as we're dragging them off, I'm like, nothing to see here, move along. Nothing to see here, move along.
Listen to him; he's a noble.
Yeah.
So you have 2 stable unconscious guys. What would you like to do?
I think we should contact Abara.
That's a good idea. I thought about finding standing water in a pothole or something, and trying to splash it on their dunking their face in it or something. See if we can revive them.
If we pull their eyelids down, is the pupil still weird?
If you pull them down and then look at them again?
If I pull the eyelids open?
Yeah, if you open them up, they're still all black.
Well, that's not good. We shouldn't wake them up.
Okay.
You can. It's probably just one street over where the moat house is at.
So, do you want to watch them, and I'll run to the moat house, or do you want us to all? I think we should. Yeah.
I think it'd probably be easier if one of us goes.
Or do you want to run to the moat house and I'll watch them?
Either way.
Hang out and watch them in case they wake up.
I'll be right back.
Okay. So you run over to the moat house.
Yeah.
You see Abara is over in the corner doing her usual handing out assignments for the day.
I go up and I wait, and I impatiently interject myself between her and whoever she's talking to.
And it's funny because she doesn't have as many people here at the moment. So she's yeah, go get that done. What's up, Zindlane? I'm sorry.
I grab her by the sleeve and you need to come with me now. There's something important. Something just happened.
What is it?
Your people are causing a disturbance in the streets, and we kind of stopped it for a moment, but we need to help. You need to come and fix this.
Okay.
And I'm I'm tugging her out of the bar.
Give me a persuasion check. Not so much that she won't believe you, but just to see if she's going to like
How
insist
important,
on a little
yeah.
bit more. Yeah. Like, are my guys just drunk? Do I need to just knock their heads?
Yeah. I rolled a 6, which gives me an 11. I want to spend my inspiration.
Okay.
That gives me a 10 for 16. So, 10 for
Okay.
15. 15.
So she was like, all right. She doesn't ask too many questions. She just goes around back and she pulls out this cart. And this cart is filled with tarps and traps and all sorts of pointy things for killing like vermin and things like that.
Yes, perfect. We need a cart. Yes, that is exactly the thing we need.
She wheels it across the street and looks at the two of them and goes, what the hell happened to them?
I like pull open their eyelids.
That's huh.
Yeah.
And she like pulls the tarp up and she help me get them up on here.
Oh.
So
They're going to be in trouble.
yeah, probably. Crap.
They killed people.
Or at least hurt them very badly.
Yeah.
We're in trouble too, because I'm sure.
Okay. And she points over to a shed behind the moat house, and she was like, "Pull them over in there. If you could do me a favor, keep an eye on them. I need to go find the griffins that were on scene and pay them off."
I like this plan.
Can you like have them forget that we were there too?
I mean, that would be extra. And like I only have so much operating expenses, but it's okay. Just keep an eye on them, and bribes will happen. Don't worry. So she heads out to try and find them. So all of you, if you would like, you have these two guys that are unconscious. They are covered in heavy traps and tarps and all sorts of things at the moment, and they are unconscious at the moment. What would you like to do?
I want to search on their person and see if there's anything that
Percy?
they're carrying, anything that is identifying maybe.
Give me an investigation check.
Oh crap.
I will help and do similar just because.
Because
It's
I'm
funny.
not terribly proficient.
The person that is both proficient and has a passive in the investigation score is not here at the moment.
Right.
Yeah, funny how that works.
I got an 11.
I got an 11 as well.
I pulled out my mirror and I'm fixing my hair.
For sure.
You do both have inspiration still.
I don't anymore. I spent mine.
Oh, okay. So yes, Garland, you do still have inspiration.
I didn't find anything.
Well, you don't know how good a job you did. So as you're looking over their bodies, you notice they pulled on their uniforms, but they're not carrying much. It's like they put on their clothes and they grabbed their clubs and went into the streets. Like they don't even have their coin purses on them.
They clearly have been manipulated in some fashion. My guess is this fancy scarring that they've got is some kind of spell.
And
Spell?
Zindlane, I will let you give me just a perception check just to see if you wildly offhand accidentally see something they didn't see when they were investigating. The difficulty is higher than the investigation check was.
12.
Nope, you don't notice it either.
You ain't seen shit.
Maybe Amara will know who they are, and we can kind of trace where they came from and see if anybody knows anything.
You do, as you're, sitting here investigating them and turning them around, the one that wasn't on fire that you had to stabilize briefly says a word. And he just breathes out, Erlig.
That sounds familiar.
There's a cult to Erlig.
Oh, before I forget again, I cast Mage Armor.
Now, meta knowledge, I know all about them. Are they common knowledge to most people?
I believe Erlig is known pretty much like a boogeyman. Like, you may not know the exact rites and things that the cult of Erlig would do, but you have heard the name as like this evil lurking presence. It's like one of the dark gods, you know. That's about as much detail as you need. It's just like, yes, he is. And basically that's saying something, because, you know, in Avalon, it's not even like benevolent gods are benevolent. You know, as far as most things go, they're gods. They do important things, and sometimes important things mean you step on mortals and you know, get them out of the way. But Erlig is like intentional maliciousness, darkness, evil, you know.
Barrow's like, that's not good.
No, that's not good at all.
So that is definitely not a good thing to hear. What all else would you like to do?
Well, I think we put this in our back pocket, we hand these people over to Abara when she gets back, and we go back about our business. We don't want to get from the other important thing that has to do with money in our pockets and a foul creature running through the streets. Now, if they have to be related, well, that'll be a happy coincidence. But
and also, you do know, this would, for those of you that got banged up a bit in the fight, if you could scrape together like 50 silver pieces or so, you might be able to get a healing potion from the apothecaries. It's just there might be some side effects because they have an interesting process to their alchemy.
Healing potions usually work the way crikey. I'm gonna chance it.
Okay.
Because I'm down. I got my ass handed to me. I got cudgel marks on my face.
You have like creases from where the different lines in the wood were.
What the hell?
So would you like to head to Brewer's shop?
Yeah.
All right, so you will be heading to
the Spice of Life.
Spice of Life. So as you get closer to the Spice of Life, this is actually where Zen Lane often, you know, hangs out in the alley behind it, which has been nicknamed Pungent Alley. And the thing about Pungent Alley is it's not that it always smells bad, it's that it always smells strong. Because Brewer usually disposes of something in that back alley. And sometimes it smells like pleasant spices or baked bread. And sometimes it smells like, oh, good Lord.
What the hell was that? Yeah.
Sometimes both at different times of the same day. So if you arrive at the Spice of Life, it is clearly open for business at the moment. And you see the accredited sign of the Order of Apothecaries hanging outside. And you open the door and you see the proprietor of the Spice of Life, Brewer. Brewer's pronouns are they, them. You've never seen Brewer because Brewer is always wearing this leather smock, usually has gloves on, and usually has some variation of a plague doctor's mask on. Depending on the season, it might be a different mask. They're all just slightly different. Some of them are a little more decorative than others. For holidays, they have like this really nice gold gilded one that, that has like multicolored lenses. But, you know, right now it's the more standard, brown leather with like bronze fittings on it. What can I do for you today?
I was wondering if you happen to have a healing potion handy.
Make that 2.
Do I? Oh, just let me see on the shelf here. There's this, and ooh, gotta shake that up a little bit. Ooh, that's past the expiration date. And they open up a window and like just hurl it back into Pungent Alley and close the.
Well, that explains that.
Ah, yes. Here we go. Here's a few of them. That will be about 50 silver, if you don't mind,
Total?
each.
That was a 5-0.
Why, yes, healing doesn't come cheap.
No, yeah, healing ain't coming. I am not that flush at the moment.
You said it was 50 for both of us?
No, each.
Each. Yeesh.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not as banged up, so I'll cover you this time. I'll buy one for him then.
You sure?
Yeah.
Splendid.
Yeah, I think you need it.
I appreciate that.
And you see Brewer starts counting out the coins, and it's not so much that they don't trust you, it's they're intently looking at the individual silver. I could do some metallurgy tests on these. The quality of the silver is fascinating.
I'm sure there are some fine specimens in that batch.
And
just don't ask where they've been.
You notice as you pick up the healing potion, there's something at the bottom, and at first you're thinking it's just something that's settled there, and that's not that weird, but then it moves.
Is this part of the potion?
Yes. If that stops moving, it'll lose its potency.
Do I have to swallow it, or does it stay in the bottle?
No. Make sure to swallow. Just don't chew.
Wait for me, Barrow.
Pinch your nose. It helps. Swallow.
So, first, give me a con save.
It's a good thing I'm good at con saves. That is not going to do it.
Oh, no.
That was a 6.
All right. So you don't know the full extent of this, but you cough as you're drinking this down, and for a brief moment you have a hard time breathing, and you feel like the thing that's moving went down the other path, like down your trachea instead of your esophagus. And it's still moving in there somewhere. Now, on the upside, you can roll your 2d4 plus 2 twice and take the better of them.
It's either a 6 or a 5. All right, well. We'll be taking the 6.
All right. So you get back 6 hit points, and every once in a while you're thinking, okay, I'm fine. And then you feel something that feels like it's tickling your lungs. Like it's still moving around in there somewhere. For now, you're fine. It's just that weird tickle in your lungs once in a while, like something's skittering across them from the inside. Zindlane, while we were there, did you want to try and buy anything at the apothecaries?
It's a bit steep.
How much is it?
Healing was 50 silver.
Okay. Well, I don't have any money right now, but I would like to pick up a package.
Oh, yes. There was something here for you. And Brewer goes to the back room, and they come back out with this package, and they go, "There appears to be a note."
Ooh, a note. I like notes. Can I see it?
Yes, the note says, "I have enclosed some proper summer attire for you."
Oh, good.
And like as you open the package, there is the care package with some food packed in there, and things like that. But then on top of all of that, there is a completely inappropriate set of clothing that is like, it's like a light gray with green accents on it, and it's the type of thing you would start wearing at this point in time for like evening wear, and totally looks wrong for for this district. And there's not a long coat, but there is a coat with tails.
Cool. So I'm gonna put the coat on. And I'm gonna like fold the rest of it back up and put it in the bag. And I'm gonna flip the note over and like scrawl something on there loosely about like a thank you, and things are going well here. I'm getting back on my feet. Should be able to come back and see you soon.
All right. I will make sure that she sees this. And you notice, like, they go back to, they fold up the note, and they pick up the one silver piece, and they keep looking at, they look at like this tarnished spot. Fascinating. And they start like getting out some solution and dropping the coin in it and watching it. Like at this point, you're pretty sure Brewer isn't even paying attention that any of you are still here. They're just like staring at the coin sitting in the solution that they dropped it in.
Nice.
So what would you all like to do at this point?
I am going to cast my spell on myself again, my false life spell, and bulk myself up with shadow. There's there's no way that that constant use of this is gonna backfire at all.
It has no long-term side effects.
See, I told you. That sounds great. 8 extra hit points. That's perfect. See, yeah, I mean, good, because it's really useful.
Yes, trust me. I will give you everything you need as long as you follow my instructions to the letter.
Well, it's working out well so far.
Indeed.
Talking to yourself again, Zimley.
Huh? What? No. I'm just happy for my new coat.
So you're talking to your coat?
I mean,
for a second, Garland, like it seems like it moves from the tickle moves from one lung to across the trachea, and then it kind of gets back in your chest and goes into the other lung that starts tickling.
Die.
Jump up and give him a nice swift pat on between the shoulder blades.
Oh.
Yeah. It's gonna
actually, I'm going to use this opportunity. Borrow. I would like to have something happen that will pay off at some point in the future.
Okay.
When you slap Garland in the back. And you and Garland will both get inspiration if you consent to having this happen.
Yes.
Okay. So you jump up and slap Garland in the back. Garland, you like, and this thing comes flying out, and it hits the ground. And it is like, when it was in the thing, it was just this tiny little few inches long. By the time that it comes out of your lungs, it is at least, it's a little bit more than fist size. And
good that you got it out.
It looks like some sort of insectile thing, but it looks at you and directly stares into your eyes, and its eyes glow for a minute, and it skitters down into a sewer grate and is gone for now.
Oh, for now.
Well, that was
Okay.
weird.
What was that? I mean, like, you're here accusing me of whatever, and then, like, you've got stuff, you're coughing up, you're spitting out bugs?
Yeah.
Just another day on the streets.
Cool.
Did you have anything else you would like to do before this evening?
Nope.
Nope.
So I'm assuming everyone's going to go ahead and meet with Gina.
Oh, does the apothecary have, like, a wash tub that I could use?
The apothecary looks at you and goes, I don't have a free wash tub, and I would normally charge someone for the use of it, but if you're willing to test one of my bathing solutions, I can make it available to you.
Sure.
Give me one moment. I'm so excited.
You want a third eye? This is how you got a third eye.
I mean, yeah, I want to be clean.
So
It's hard to, you can't really put new clothes on if you're all covered in filth.
Brewer
Yeah.
starts like throwing material in there. It's like half filled with water, and they throw a bunch of different things in there. And Brewer reaches over on the shelf and looks at a few things and throws them in there, and it starts fizzing, and there's like these vapors coming off of it. I don't think it will be too hot for you to be in, but if it is, please let me record it before you get out.
Sure. Like, I'm used to a hot bath. I mean, like, that's kind of what a bath is for. So I jump right in.
Yes,
I strip
isn't
down.
it?
I strip down and I strip down and jump in.
All right.
Fold up. I strip down and fold up my clothes carefully and put them on like a bench. That maybe if there's not a bench readily available, I like move some. I like kind of shift some stuff over and make room on a bench to put my folded clothes on.
So when you jump in, it will either be a mild irritant. You'll be clean, but it'll be mild irritant. Or I am willing to give you inspiration for something else to happen.
Yeah.
All right. So you jump in the bath, and you actually hear your patron saying, "What is going on? I can feel the pain transmitting through your body to me." And you don't feel anything.
Well then.
What are you doing?
What do you mean? What's going on? What's happening? What? Oh, and I like stand up.
And Brewer is sitting there going, "Did you feel anything?"
That was very strange. What did you do to me?
Nothing. I just added existential salts to your bath.
I don't think I like this anymore. And I like step out like half, kind of
Do you feel like it has severed the bonds between your soul and your physical body?
I don't know. And I just kind of like, I'm in a daze, and I like pick up my clothes that are folded, and I just kind of like walk out of the shop.
So because of the that odd feeling of your patron being more distant now,
Yeah.
you have lost one of your hit dice.
Oh God.
Well then.
Can I get that back somehow?
when you get a full rest.
Oh,
So,
okay.
After a week.
How do I mark that?
Normally you have one hit dice for each level, so you just only have one now. So if you
like
want to spend
I have fewer max hit points. Is that what that means? Or?
No. That just means that when you take a rest, if you were to spend hit dice to get hit points back, you have one fewer that you can spend now.
Right. I think I remember you mentioning that before. I still need to figure out where to mark that.
I think there's a thing on there in D&D Beyond, but I don't remember exactly where.
Oh, that's fun.
It's up in the rest area of the character sheet.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can still hear your patron, but it's like they're talking to you from much further away than they were before.
He's in a tunnel.
What was that?
Eventually, Good.
It felt like it was burning away at your silver cord. Not that I am attached to your silver cord in any manner whatsoever.
That's very interesting. And like eventually I'll like put my senses and like stop in the middle of the street and put my clothes on.
Yeah.
I'm probably running after him, being like, hey, you should probably put some clothes on.
You do feel really clean, though.
Yes, oh, that's so nice. So nice to feel clean.
Yeah.
This is weird. What happened? What did he put in that?
Jared, refresh my memory. Are we, you can only have one inspiration at a time
Yes.
with these rules? Okay.
Yes. But you can't spend them to state truths that haven't already been established.
Yeah, because I hadn't used mine and gave me a new one, so.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you still have one then. But Barrow got one for knocking that bug loose.
He did. Yes, he did.
All right. So, Zindlane, you're really clean. Also, I'm not saying Zindlane would make this connection, but, you know, at some point in time, if you ever wanted to try and buy existential salts from Brewer, they might actually harm incorporeal creatures.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fun. If I ever want to not be a warlock anymore.
Wash away your pact. All right. So at this point, did you want to head to the excavation site?
Yeah, we should probably do that.
So you head down there again. You know, the sun's getting lower in the distance. You see the lamplighters starting to light the torches, and the area of the excavation site is actually right by. Remember the part of the sewers you couldn't get to because that alleyway collapsed?
Uh-huh.
She is excavating right near there.
Oh.
So she's got some people there already, and they're using these strange tools that you haven't seen before, and also just normal pickaxes and saws of different types, and like hand drills that they're going through. And she's like, "Yeah, we should be ready to go in just about a minute now. We've started working on it a little early so that you'd be able to go as soon as the sun was down for the permit. We fudged things just a wee bit, but I think we'll be okay." And you notice over in the corner, like staked to a thing that's in the ground, is the Atyug, and she's like,
What's up there?
Yeah, I brought Sarah because if something comes boiling out of here once we open this up, I figured maybe she'll like a snack.
Maybe.
So after a few minutes, they crack this thing open, and this horrible smell of a section of the sewer that's been building up for weeks without getting even the normal amount of ventilation just like shoots through and hits all of you.
That is right.
Oh, so it is be like safe?
Burning your eyes.
I just took a bath.
Welcome to the docks, baby.
So we'll keep an eye on this entrance, and if anything comes after you, just shoo them towards Sarah, and she'll definitely be waiting. And you see, like, Sarah's mouth is like...
All right.
Regardless, I think we should bring something back for her.
Yes.
So, do you have any light sources?
I'm gonna. Has it been an hour since we were at the apothecary shop?
Oh yeah, it's been a
Since,
couple.
yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna recast my false health,
Okay.
false life, because that only
I've-
lasts an hour.
I've got my hooded lantern
Okay.
for light source.
Good. You have a light source. That's wonderful. So you have a map. If you would like, someone can make a survival check to read the map and follow it to the proper location.
I can take a shot at that. Bugger all. It's a whopping 9.
Would you like to spend your inspiration?
Yeah, I would. I would like dice that roll better than this. Oh, yay, a 10.
As luck would have it, you looked like there for a second, you almost went down a alleyway, and then you turned the map the other direction, and you're like, oh, no.
Wait, north.
So after about an hour of wandering, you kind of find the alcove that you're supposed to be going into. And if all of you, actually, no, one of you, give me an intelligence investigation check, whoever's in the lead, which I'm going to say is probably Borrow, unless you hand the lantern off to somebody else.
I guess I probably wouldn't, but I'm probably not the best one for this, so let's cross our fingers on this.
Probably are.
Pretty sure
so-
none of us are the best for this.
If the other two are actually looking, or if even one of the other two is looking, you can roll this with advantage.
Yeah, we're all keeping an eye out.
Okay.
All right. So give me your investigation check.
Oh, well, that wasn't bad. Yeah,
That's
I
a
got
-1 roll for me.
I got an 18.
Okay.
There we go.
So, as you turn down this alcove and start following the map, and this is a straight shot to this vault now. Once you're in this section of the sewers, you're noticing this crunching noise beneath your feet, and you move the lantern and you start inspecting it, and you see what looks like bone fragments littered in between all of the broken stones in this area.
Oh,
Well,
that's interesting.
And it's not like you noticed a few bone fragments. It's like bone fragments have been almost like paved within the middle of all of these stones. Like there's so many bone fragments that somebody was just, tossing them out and walking on them for a long time here.
That's an interesting way to decorate.
Would you like to do
Yes.
anything else as you notice this?
I point out to everybody, I'm like, this is kind of crunching, and like I put the lantern down and see the bones, and I'm like, there's a lot of bones here on the ground, guys.
that's a lot of bones.
Yeah, look around and see if we can figure out is there like a source for these bones, or are there bigger bones, or are they all fragments?
All of them seem to have been broken down to similar size fragments.
That's weird. What could possibly do that?
If you're looking, go ahead and give me an investigation check on your own.
Yeah, let's get a 12. Hey, that's not bad. That's better than average.
Yeah, since you're specifically picking up one of these bone fragments and looking at it, it almost looks like something's gnawed these bones down to
Of course they were.
this
I like
size.
shudder and drop it. Wow.
Those are tooth marks, aren't they?
Those are tooth marks.
Know that.
I think we should be on our guard even more than we were before.
At this point, I pull out one sword.
Yeah,
So-
I pull out my scythe or my sickle, and like a green flame start dancing on it.
If everyone could give me a perception check with advantage because you noticed the bite marks.
That's better. 21.
10.
I got an 11.
Okay, and what is your passive perception at +5?
14.
And what is Borrow's at +5?
+5, 19.
Okay.
Wow.
So Garland and Borrow, like as you're looking at this fragment that has that looks gnawed on, and Zindlane is still staring at it and doesn't notice that rushing from the other side of the corridor is a vaguely humanoid shaped thing, but its legs are bent backwards.
Yeah.
And it's it's got like clawed hands. Its face is elongated and almost more of a canine look to it. And it comes running out at you. And it is saying, "So hungry!"
Oh.
If you would, please roll me initiative. And Zindlane, you will be surprised for this first...
Sounds right.
Woo! 19.
20.
9.
That's appropriate.
Uh-huh.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so Borrow, Garland, whatever this is, I'm sure nobody has figured anything out, and Zindlane. Okay, so Garland and Borrow are right there, Zindlane is right there. This thing is... It is about 30 feet back from Zindlane at the very edge of this passageway. So, Borrow, what would you like to do as you see this thing?
I shout, "Oh crap, what is that thing?" And I put my sword forward, readying it to come close to us to make an attack.
All right, so you are readying it for when it is within range. Gotcha.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Garland, what would you like to do?
Pull my pistol and shoot it in the face.
Yeah.
In the face.
Okay.
Does it have one of those?
Oh, that's a cock die. I hate when it happens. Roll finally. Oh, that's a shitty ass. Okay, then. That's a 12.
12 does not hit it.
No, it doesn't. Boom!
Yeah, you finally hear the pistol go off.
Yeah.
At that, Zindlane's like, "What thing? What? What's the boom? What are you shooting at? What's happening?"
As soon as the boom happens, he's like, "Ah, my ears!"
All right, so this thing closes. Borrow, you will get to make your attack first as it's about to jump on Zindlane.
Okay. The one that's unaware. That would be a 12. Does a 12 hit?
A 12 does not.
Shit.
I shouldn't have told you that because I should have said, "Do you want to use that inspiration?"
I'm gonna use my inspiration because
that was my fault. Normally, I should not tell you whether you hit or not. I would just ask you, but I didn't ask you. So yes, go ahead and use your inspiration.
Nope. Say I love you.
Okay. So Zindlane.
So if I am surprised,
Yes.
well, let's see what happens first. Actually, if I'm surprised, do I have the ability to do a reaction or no?
No, you do not get a reaction until after your turn this round, and you don't get to do anything on your turn.
Yes, fair. Okay.
Okay, so
Except get your ass bit by a werewolf. Maybe it's a werewolf.
Not. It's not actually. It's vaguely canine looking, but the rest of its body looks like a kind of fleshy humanoid. It's
the thing.
It's the beast from the sewers.
Anyway, I will where is that? Okay. Actions. Oh, well that's nice. It only gets one action. So it's going to come at you with its teeth. Does a 13 hit you?
It does not.
So these big distended
It
yellow
deflects off of shadow energy.
are just like, yeah, trying to bite you and hitting shadow. And the voice in your head is going, it's funny because he's biting shadows.
I have a 14 AC.
It's funny because he's biting shadow.
yeah, it's further back than it normally is, but all right. So it's Zindlane's turn, but because you're surprised this turn, you don't get to do anything. So now
What the heck is this?
But now you have reactions again after your turn.
Yay.
Barrow, we are back to you, and this thing is just like trying to viciously bite at Zindlane, and it's also just saying things like, "No one has been here for so long. I don't want to eat you, but I'm so hungry."
Oh, that's
Sure,
weird.
buddy.
All right, so I will slash at it again. Hopefully do better this time. Who's that at? Ugh, no, 7.
So it easily just kind of like skitters away from you trying to poke it.
I rolled so well earlier, got all my good rolls out.
Yep.
Garland, you are right behind Zindlane and about 5 feet away from it. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna pull my longsword and I'm gonna stab it in the face. I'm gonna stab it somewhere, I hope. Oh, for Christ's sake. 15.
15?
Yeah.
15? A 15 just barely hits it.
Oh, thank God. 7 points of damage.
All right. Not bloody yet.
And for my bonus action, second wind. 9 hit points. I'm at max. Woo!
Yay. All right. So now it is its turn. And because clearly the teeth were the problem, it's going to try and slash at you now instead of biting. And that is a 16.
Okay, and if I, so I have, can I know the amount of damage before I make a reaction?
I mean, it's.
I have a shield spell, which is a
Oh.
reaction, which would increase my AC.
Yeah, usually that's just once you know it would hit, you would trigger the shield.
Okay,
So
I will take this first hit and see how bad it is.
Okay. So. 7 points of slashing damage from its claws.
It eats up all of my shadow bulk. Ouch, that hurt.
You felt that one.
And as he's like tearing through your shield, he's like, if you just give me one of you to eat, I won't try and eat the other ones. I'm just so hungry.
I will try to not eat the other ones.
Yeah, no. I got some iron rations in my pack.
I don't even, you're all too fresh anyway, but I have to eat something. So, that was its turn. So, Zindlane, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm going
This
to
thing
use
is like slashing away your shadow defenses right now.
Yes, I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Wrathful Smite, which causes purplish, shadowy energy to like bubble out of my pores and coalesce on my weapon. So the next time I hit, I will do extra psychic damage.
Nice.
And then I will attack it with my weapon. And does a 15 hit?
A 15 barely hits, yes.
Yes.
So I do 4 damage plus where did it go? Plus 1d6 damage. I'll make the 1d6 happen. There we go. Plus 1d6 damage. So, and it needs a wisdom save.
Okay.
So 4 damage plus 1 damage, and it needs a wisdom save.
All right. What is the DC on that save?
13.
It got a 17.
Okay, so it takes the minimum damage I can possibly roll.
Okay.
5 damage. As an action, if the make the wisdom save as an action, so target is a creature must make a wisdom save or be frightened of me until the spell ends, but it's not because it made the save.
So it's like, stay out of my head.
Right.
I already have to listen to all my coworkers screaming in there. I don't need anything else. Borrow.
Hearing them talk about being hungry, I'm going to take this opportunity and I'm going to step back, disengaging, and I'm going to pull the bread that I have left in my pack and throw it at the creature and see if it takes it.
When you do that, it looks at you and goes, I wish I still could eat bread. I am so sorry.
Okay. Well, it was worth a shot.
No bread, huh? Okay, you gotta die.
Garland, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna attempt to kill this thing. That's mucho better. That is 20. Not a crit 20, but a 20.
It's a dirty 20.
And I just threw my die on the floor in the rolling tray for 6 points of damage.
All right. It is now bloodied. And actually, in this creature's case, it is bleeding. It looks a little thicker and more viscous than regular blood, but it's still pretty much, it's not like congealing. It just looks like thicker blood than what you're used to most humanoids having.
Fun.
And he's like, ah! And now is its turn. And on its turn, it's going to put its claws up for a second and go, I don't want to eat you, but I need to eat something. I will try to control my hunger if you don't kill me. You don't happen to know of any corpses nearby, do you? There's no corpses down here. There haven't been corpses for so long. Why aren't there any corpses? And I will actually kick this to Zindlane and say, what do you want to do on your turn after he says that? Because he doesn't attack on his turn. He is kind of like holding his stomach like he's like trying to fight off his hunger pains.
I don't think we have any corpses at the moment, but if you let us go, we could possibly bring you some corpses. I mean, I'm sure that corpses can be had for a price. And I cast, and then I kind of like move my hands in an arcane motion and like gather some more shadow power to me and give me my cast false life.
Okay. Borrow, what would you like to
back up?
As you see Zindlane casting this and this thing holding back.
This spell's like cheating.
I'm going to say, well, what are you doing down here?
When the tunnel collapsed the first time, I couldn't get back to the surface. And we were all so hungry and we went through all of our food. And eventually they just started dying and I was the last one left. So I had to survive. Don't you see? I had to survive. I had to start eating them. I had to do it. So I ate my coworkers.
Maybe we can find a way to help you out. Maybe we can get you some corpses. Maybe find out if there's something to help you?
Corpses are wonderful.
The
I didn't used to realize how good they were.
Is a blade in the chest. That is the cure for that condition. He's been down here feasting on human corpses. He's not gonna get saved. Kill it.
I think you might be right.
Burn it with fire.
But I can control my hunger to a point. If you don't sleep near me, you'll be really safe.
Sorry, bud.
So, let's see. Barrow, you were talking to him. Did you want to take an action while he was still?
I'm going to stab at him.
Okay.
I'm taking Garland's advice, and I'm
Kill it.
Ooh, nice. 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. Oh yeah, everyone else is near him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I get my sneak attack, so that will be 7 plus 3, 10. 10
Okay.
damage.
He is still standing. All right. Garland. Barrow just like darted back in and stabbed him.
I continue to swing, and a 13 is not going to do it.
Surely you don't need all three of you. One of you might die eventually, and then it would be okay to give me your corpse, right?
No.
And since Garland advocated for killing him, he is going to lunge at Garland. Wow, you. My thugs were doing way better than this guy. So that is a 9 to hit Garland.
Nope.
Yeah, so he flails his claws at you, but you manage to keep him at arm's length.
You're going down.
Zindlane.
I'm gonna like shout and say, "You are an abomination!" And as I say that, like in the wrath, more wrath exceeds from my pores as I cast Wrathful Smite again, and swing. Sickle. 19.
That will hit.
Okay, so I do. That's better. I do 7 plus 6 and a will save, so 13 damage.
Nice.
All right.
So I did minimum damage last time and maximum damage this time.
Yeah.
So, are you planning on killing this with this blow?
I was, well, it depends. Does the physical damage it doesn't, I might not have an option. Does 7 damage kill it?
I mean, it would bring it to 0, yes.
So 7, does the physical damage did bring it to 0?
Yes.
I think yes, because the way that I narrated that, yes.
Okay. So yeah, how do you want to finish off this poor wretched creature?
I am going to eviscerate it from head to toe with my sickle,
right.
and have like shadow energy like infuse it and explode it.
So these gooey dark green organs just drop out of its body as you cut it open, and then like the shadow energy just splatters it all over the place. Yeah, you know what? Just for fun, Garland and Barrow, give me a dexterity save.
Oh God, no!
Of course. No, I'm covered in goo.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt you. You just have these weird greenish black organ bits on you now.
Can it explode in such a way that it doesn't splatter me? Because that would be nice.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't hit you.
Oh, good.
You did the dramatic warlock, retribution thing here. It just parted around you.
That'll be 13 for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you did not get splattered. So
that is the safe DC for my spell. So,
so Garland just has
Ugh.
Would all of you like to make a history check for me?
Story.
Love to make a history check.
Oh God, I got a 2.
I got an 8.
I got a rock.
I want to use my inspiration.
All right.
Oh, I got a 5. Never mind.
History has definitely happened, and all of you, when you get together and discuss it, are sure that there is a past time before you existed.
Well, some shit sure went down, didn't it? Yeah, we don't know what it was. Remember that thing about not knowing what we don't know? There.
This is what
That
we
right
don't.
there. We don't know it.
So yeah, you can continue on towards the vault if you would like.
Why, yes. We'd love to continue the ball.
And is Barrow still leading the way?
Yeah, I suppose I will be. I got the lantern still.
Okay. Barrow, would you be kind enough to give me a perception check?
Ooh, nat 20, 24 total.
Suck it, son.
So you're walking along, you have the lantern there, you're in front of everyone else, and you notice there is a row of tiles that look different than the other tiles around here. And like the other tiles have been broken up and kind of damaged, and these ones look more durable than the other ones. And they look like for the other, where the other tiles, even the broken ones are at, they seem to be slightly higher. You could avoid them if you try and like scoot along the wall, but that would take an acrobatics check. Not that you would want to avoid these special tiles, but
I think I am going to investigate these tiles and see if I can decipher anything about them.
Okay.
Why do I have a +0 to investigation? That sucks.
Better than mine.
That'll be a 16.
All right. You're pretty sure that these are pressure plates.
Okay.
Sneaky sis.
So to let's see, what do I have in my equipment that I can use? Let me use some pythons and try to disable the pressure plates.
Okay. Essentially, what you could do is like jam something to where it won't go down, and then that would be safe to step on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a thieves tool proficiency check, which would be dexterity, unless you want it to be intelligence. I'll actually let it go either way.
I'll go dexterity, and proficiency. 2, so 5, and come on, big number. 11.
Okay. Do you have inspiration?
Not anymore.
Does anyone have inspiration?
I do.
Yeah, I think you can say something for how you want to help him and grant him your inspiration.
Oh shit! No, I used mine.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, everybody's out of inspiration.
Yep.
All right. So how safe do you feel telling people to walk over this?
I'll say I think I got it.
Should we maybe throw a rock at it, or? I mean, if you got it, let's just go.
Sure, just be careful.
Okay. So do you all walk over the one that Barrow is telling you is safe?
Well, can we just can we step around it maybe, or?
I'm gonna make my acrobatics check.
Yes, you can make a acrobatics check to scooch along the wall to avoid all of them, but it does take an acrobatics check to do that.
Yep, and that's a 19 for me.
Okay. Anyone else want it?
We should probably try to avoid that, so I'm going to try. Not there in the tray. keep dice in the tray. That's why the rolling tray is, whoa! Oh! I rolled a 19 for a 20.
Nice.
I have a 7.
So all three of you like scooch up against the wall and carefully avoid the pressure plates, and scooching against the wall, and you get to the other side, and you're all thinking, "Yep, that was good." And then you hear a hissing noise.
I'm not quite willing to scooch fully against the wall because I don't want to get my coat all dirty.
A hissing as in some kind of creature making a hissing, or a hissing as in some gases escaping from somewhere?
When you look up, you see there's a couple pipes on either side of the passageway, and there is, if Barrow shines the light there is a yellowish green smoke coming out of these pipes.
Do you have any mud? Anybody have any mud or something that I can patch that hole with?
I think we should just run, guys.
Yeah.
So, can you all please give me Constitution saves?
Yes.
At least that's the one I'm good at.
Not me.
Well,
I guess
at least I did this long.
Oh, nice. I rolled a 19. Well,
Okay.
20 altogether.
What did Garland get?
I got a 14.
Okay, and Zinley?
22.
All right.
I'm good at Constitution checks, apparently.
So
Pretty sure I'm 3 for 3 19s.
Instead of taking full damage, you all only take 5 points of damage from this gas.
Apparently, I have the shadow hit points in my lungs.
Breathe in the shadows. So all of you are kind of coughing, and you notice the other thing is this gas, as it kind of settles on you, it's leaving like a residue on you.
Gross. Let's go. Let's get out of here. This sucks.
So you get through here, and the air gets a little bit fresher towards the end of the corridor, and you see a large circular door implanted in the wall, and there are two separate square square covers that can slide either way on the far ends of this door. What would you like to do?
We have two, right?
We have keys. Enter the keys into the doors?
My guess is those two sliding things are covering up the keyholes, and we have to put them in, and two people have to turn them at the same time.
Ooh,
They're
that
like
would be
locks.
That would be pretty smart. Yeah.
Well, you two go ahead and go do that. I'll stay here.
You shine the light, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I got the light.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
I'm too short. I can't reach it.
Each of you are by one of those metal.
I'll take the right one.
Take the
Okay.
left one.
Okay. If you slide them to the side, you do see there is a keyhole be underneath each of them on either side of the door.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you doing this?
1,
We're gonna
2,
do
3,
this.
insert.
1, 2, 3, insert. And then 2, 3, turn.
Yes. 4, 5, 6, turn. Yes.
We're doomed.
Don't press the red button.
Ah?
Now, what did I just say?
I'm Groot.
Let's do this.
I'm Groot.
All right. So, So I'm going to let you either give me a wisdom or a dex save to represent how in sync the two of you are.
X. It doesn't really matter. I'll do wisdom.
Same.
All right.
Suck it, son. 20.
Hey.
A natural 20.
17.
All right. So you feel like both of you
16.
inserted at the exact same moment.
Yay.
Satisfying click. So you feel like you did phase 1 now.
Yeah,
Okay.
all right.
And now
4, 5, 6,
4, 5,
turn.
6 turn.
So again, up to you, wisdom or dexterity to time this.
Same thing.
It was on a 1 for like 3 seconds, and then it turned over to a 17. 18.
10.
So as both of you are turning it, Garland, yours gets stuck halfway.
I gotta push through that.
Now,
I can crank that thing.
I was just gonna say, you have a feeling if you let go of this, it's gonna
That would be
push the key
bad.
back out.
Yeah, I gotta push through that. I gotta push through that.
I'll if you would like to do it as a strength check, I'll let you do it.
I would like just a straight up strength check.
Yep.
Strength save or strength check?
God damn it! A check, not a save, right?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
What'd you get?
I got a 4.
Oh boy.
So you see Garland, like all of you, like this happens like in a split second. Like he goes to turn it and it catches, and for a second you don't realize what's going on, and then you see him force the key, and then all of you all of a sudden see him holding half of a key.
Oh no. I immediately cast Mage Hand.
The one key is still in there in the turn position. This one is stuck halfway, but now it's broke. So
Clearly, this key was ancient. It was broke. It just broke.
Can my Mage Hand get purchase to turn the key?
It can't really turn it because it can't quite get enough force.
I look around and see if there's any like boulders coming to fall on us.
Not yet. Or
I am going to pass the lantern on to Garland and say, "Hey, let me take a crack at this." And I'm going to use my thieves' tools in an attempt to get this turned.
Okay.
And engaged.
Zindlane, I will let Barrow have advantage on this check if your mage hand is holding things out of the way for him.
Yes.
It's like a third hand for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. 13 plus 5. 18.
So you're kind of like wheedling around in there, and you end up basically pushing the key the rest of the way through the vault door, and then like hooking one of your your little gadgets in there and clicking, and you hear this hissing as like all of the air around the vault door just go.
Oh no, not again.
And yeah, well, this one it smells horrible, but it doesn't necessarily start making your lungs spasm.
Not like a little creature will.
So would you like to open the vault door?
I'm gonna grab the vault door and pull it open.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you pull the vault door open. It actually, you don't need to make a check, but it is, you heave a little bit to get this to swing open because like the hinges haven't been oiled. So it's like, and what you see inside, there are 3 big heavy boxes and desks all over the place.
And desks?
Desks. Like a place where someone was sitting down and scribing things.
Okay. And 3 big heavy boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I suppose we could each pick up a box, huh?
I don't know. Can we?
I can probably carry all 3 of them.
Is there
Is that-
anything coming to kill us in here?
Not that you've noticed.
No, I see.
Is there anything besides the boxes and the desks?
I don't know. Are you going in with the lantern?
Yeah, we're gonna go in with the lantern. Let's go look around.
I was
Okay.
thinking I was going to start rifling through some of the desks too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, give me it's going to take you a while to be thorough because this is a fairly large space. So, everyone give me, well, I was going to say, Zindlane, do you want to go searching through here too?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean,
It's an ancient vault. We should definitely check it out.
Yeah, so this will be at least 10 minutes to get a thorough search with 3 of you covering different sections. So each of you give me a separate investigation check.
Oh, that's better.
11.
10.
11.
15.
All right. So all of you notice, like, there's like some rotted paper on the desks. Like, I mean, it's been probably over, it's been at least over 70 years since anybody was down here doing this. So the paper's rotted out. The ink wells are all dried up. What Garland manages to find is there is a moldy leather purse that currently has 100 silver pieces in it.
Booyah! They don't need to know about that.
No.
She said, bring back the knowledge. 100 silver pieces ain't knowledge. We'll just put that in our pocket.
But Garland, how underworld savvy is Garland? You work for thugs.
Yeah, I'm like, it's the kind of thing I do.
Okay. You recognize a symbol that is on the purse, even though it's kind of molded over. And what this looks like is, where's my guild list? This has the symbol of the Extortioners Guild on it. Which, to your knowledge, is not affiliated with the House of Odin.
No, it is not. We'll put that piece of knowledge in the back of our brain for later.
It's a tool that'll help us later.
Yep. In fact, the purse has coin in it. We're going to put the whole purse in our pocket. That way we've got the purse with the proof of the symbol. In case we...
So I will say this. These are pretty heavy, but what's Garland's strength?
Garland has a 15 strength and the ancestry feature strong back.
Oh,
so
yeah.
One size larger for carrying capacity and push drag lift.
All right. So Garland can carry all 3 of these. However,
Nice.
if Garland carries all 3 of these, someone else has to navigate you back to the way you came.
Don't get us lost.
I can carry one of them, pretty sure.
I got the lantern. Maybe I can navigate back.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I got a decent survival.
Okay. Well, give me a survival check to see how well you make it back to your checkpoint.
Nice, 21.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you find your way back, and at this point, it's been about 2 hours since you went in, and
Oh no, we forgot to grab something for Sarah.
Grab the backwards leg dude.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna grab some organs.
Yeah.
In like, I'm gonna wrap it in like whatever. I need to borrow some like a rag or something.
give me an intelligence check to see if you remembered that before you got all the way to the an intelligence save.
Oh, that's the same thing. I got a 12.
Okay, yeah, you remembered you wanted to get something for Sarah. So yeah, you grab some parts of whatever this thing was.
Parts.
Like wrap it in some of the papers,
His
some
old
of
shirt.
the extra papers.
It's like butcher paper.
So Gina and her work crew are waiting for you, and goes, "Huh, you're all still alive."
Yeah, I'm covered in, freaking dead guy goo, but
So are you saying there were monsters down there?
I toss a bloody goop pile to Sarah.
And Sarah's like, blah, 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 blah.
there was apparently a work crew that went down there a long time ago, and then the tunnel collapsed and they got trapped, and one guy ended up eating his buddies.
It would have to be like over 70 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll have to look up in the records and see if we can notify any family members. And it's like she's actually like doing all of this formal, like, well, if they died in the thing, it's got to be entered into the record and officially
dead guys as parts.
There are gnawed upon bones in there.
So
let's go visit our friend.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's nighttime, but it's still the gambling palace would still be open.
So. Oh yeah.
So you're heading to the well?
Valkyrie, whatever, something or other.
Marley.
Valkyrie Marley. Bob's long-lost cousin.
You're easily trucking these 3 big boxes, and you notice that you've been carrying them long enough now. All of them are like wax sealed. So like the boxes themselves have been treated, so even though they have some mold on them, it hasn't eaten through them, and it's got like a wax seal around where the tops fit onto them. And as you're traveling through here, you again, like, you're in a different part of the neighborhood, but out of the corner of your eye you see somebody and you feel like they're looking at you. Do you turn in that direction, Garland?
I will glance that way.
All right. Give me a wisdom save.
No.
All right. So, Garland. Ooh. You take 5 points of psychic damage.
Ow.
But you get a clearer insight on what you're looking at because you took the psychic damage. When you look, you see this woman that you keep seeing from a distance, meeting your eyes across crowds. And as you meet her gaze this time, you see another one of those thin row houses in an alleyway where it shouldn't be. But all of a sudden, you see what looks like almost like breaking glass in midair all around this row house. And it just starts to collapse in on itself into like this tiny pinpoint of blackness. And she like reaches out for you, and she gets drug into that pinpoint, and everything just collapses into that one little pinpoint singularity, and then it's all gone.
Okay. I stopped dead in my tracks, of course. Yeah. Do I get any kind of a sense of whether her reaching for me was a malicious... Streets of Avalon, word scramble. Malicious, or help me kind of a...
Yeah, it looked like she was trying to anchor herself.
Which could be for good or bad. Okay. Yeah, that's disturbing. Okay. It's gone. I shake the cobwebs out of my head for a second. All right. Sorry about that, guys.
What happened?
Keep on moving. I'm going to have a conversation with some people about that.
What? Wait. What happened? Why did you stop?
I'll explain it later. Let's deliver this and get it off our plate.
He's keeping secrets from you, Zendlane.
You are keeping secrets. He is keeping secrets.
By the way, if that voice in your head is talking to you, stop.
What voice in my head? There's no voice in my head.
And then, like, also it like goes, also, I didn't revisit this at the time, but just from what you had said back in the tunnels, just to be clear, you're against eating humans, correct?
Yeah.
All right, it's not a non-starter. I just wanted to double check.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like, especially live ones. I mean, of course. But he seemed so pitiful.
Oh yes, don't worry. We can work on this. Don't worry.
What? No, we shouldn't eat humans. That's true.
Gildane, you're freaking me out here. You do not eat people, okay? That
Right.
creature in the tunnels was an abomination caused by long periods of time alone and weird forces, most likely,
and he was abomination, and we killed him, and we delivered the abomination. Yeah, but he was so pitiful.
Yes, he was.
Like, he was just like, oh.
Barrow's shaking his head, and he's like, "At least my problems are material."
You think?
All right. So you make it the rest of the way to the well, unless you want to make a detour after all that.
No, straight to the well.
So you go in, and obviously now it's a lot more lively and active. The well's patrons are. The other districts would laugh at this, but these are the wealthy people of this district, which is like the people that own stores and people that own, multiple, pieces of property. And it's, I mean, for what all that is worth outside of this district, they're pretty pathetic. But compared to the regular people in this district, these are very wealthy people. And, they're betting tens of silvers, and that's like shocking on things, So there's various, card games going on all over, things like that.
Gambling, you fools.
And you see the guard at the front, and she looks at all of you and goes, "What have you got on your boots?" And then she looks over at Garland and says, "And your face."
Yeah, it's dead guy stuff. Don't worry about it. You got the stuff your boss wanted, so.
All right.
And no, you can't have my coat this time.
Oh, and by the way, this is heavy.
Just head on up the stairs. As you're still carrying the 3 boxes.
I'm guessing those boxes are more than 10 pounds.
Yes. So, do you head up the stairs?
Yeah.
Garland, you're even with your strong back, you're a little winded carrying these up these stairs.
A couple of times you hear a squidge as some of the crap from my boot falls off and splattered on the stairs.
Barrow's just kind of like happily going along, not carrying anything.
I'm looking around the bar with disdain at the people who think they're so highborn.
So you see Marley staring out over the crowd, like she's got like one hand on either part of that.
The opening?
On the opening there, just kind of like staring out over her domain.
You should really fix that. You might fall.
I have a sense of power. This is just like openness, looking out over everything that I can see here. What did you bring me?
Pick a spot over there for me to put these 3 big heavy ass boxes.
she's happily nodding and just points to a spot to drop them.
I will gently clunk.
And
catch my breath.
She pulls out a dirk and she starts like cutting around the wax seal. And she flops the thing open, and she starts looking at the
check for traps, are you? She's gonna cut that seal open and doom us all. All right.
And she starts looking through these papers, and I'm going to say, unless Barrow is standing on something, he can't quite see this. But Zindlane and Garrick.
Definitely a G word.
Yeah, the guy from Star Trek. No,
Eric.
Garland and Zindlane, you can both make a perception check to catch like a glimpse of what she's looking at in this box.
Perception starts with a P.
I see shit. I got a 9.
I got a 1.
I'm too winded.
What is your passive limit?
9.
13.
Oh, yeah.
I managed a 19.
Did you crawl up on something?
Jump.
Perhaps. Yeah. Just
Yeah, because
jumping.
yeah, because she's got like both boxes stacked and she's like looking at the top, there. But Garland, you notice like as she's rifling through these, you don't know them really well, but these are papers that have crests from different noble families on them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now,
shit, that's worth a ton of money to her.
and she's looking through there and she goes, I don't immediately know the value of these things, but all knowledge is power, and you have brought these back to me, and I appreciate that. And she's got this wide grin on her face the whole time she's saying this.
Excellent. I'm glad you're satisfied with our service.
Do you mind if I put
With
two
a
pieces
remuneration as part of the
Do you mind if I put 2 pieces of meta information that my character doesn't actually know together?
Sure.
So we have folders with crests of noble families and a pouch of coins with the Extortioners Guild sigil.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like there's a
Zinthlane is oblivious, but
I think a 2 plus 2 might be 4 here.
So she pays you the promised silver pieces.
Yay.
Yeah. This is very good. I greatly appreciate all of this.
And the other information?
Oh, I will definitely. I haven't had time. I've started looking, and you see, she does honestly have a stack of books that are sitting on her desk, and they do look like they're from that same section that she was looking at before. I will let you know as soon as I find something of use here. But thank you very much for this. This is great. Great historical.
Yes, historical. Yes, much historical, bigly historical value.
Did you run into any problems while this was going on?
Just one.
What was that?
I was like looking for flesh to eat.
very hungry critter.
Oh, you ran into a ghoul?
Is that what that was? His legs were bent backwards and his face was a little extended, and
whenever human beings have to live off the flesh of other humans, and they have done so for too long, it triggers a curse that transmogrifies them into ghouls. At which point they can only subsist on raw meat, which they prefer to be dead.
Yeah.
So it was an abomination, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir.
There's a little bit of them right here in my hair, a little bit here on my shirt. So if you want any, feel free.
But so in this case, ghouls are mythos type ghouls as opposed to undead ghouls.
Oh.
Yeah, it was nasty, and and we killed his ass.
Well, that is wonderful. And on a meta note, I think I'm going to wrap things up because it's almost 11 o'clock here Central Time. And I would do the downtime now, but we ran right up against it, and that way, John, next time at the beginning of next session, we'll see how everybody wants to spend their downtime. You should all have enough gold and time to level up. So if you want to level up, if you're planning on doing it, go ahead and do that, and then we'll just spend the downtime and the silver for that at the beginning of next session.
Cool. So leveling up is a consistent amount of downtime. It'll be 10 days again.
It is.
It varies by level.
Yeah. But right now,
from
this
2 to
level
4, I think, is the same, and then it goes up.
Yep.
So
yeah, this time
got 100 silver pieces from the quest.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, we got an extra 100 that I'll divvy up between us. So that's 33 apiece.
Mm-hmm.
So 133 each.
Yeah. You guys are doing really good for this district.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna keep that extra silver piece for carrying.
Labor fees.
You know.
The funny thing here is Zindlane is probably the only one of you that's actually seen a gold piece for real.
Yeah. For me, gold is a mythical element.
Sure, someone had seen gold before.
I've seen something painted that color once, but an actual coin, and no, they ain't having it.
That's no big deal.
All right. So, does anyone have any last-minute things they want to say before we sign off for the evening?
I will definitely be leveling up, and level 3 is when I get to pick my martial archetype. Woo!
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
It's gonna be fun. And you know what I get with that?
Mm.
I get a bonus skill proficiency, which is history.
See, I am proficient in history, which is why I have a +1 instead of a -1.
There you go.
I've heard of this history thing before.
Yes. This sounds vaguely familiar.
Oh, goodness. So I hope everyone enjoyed themselves.
Absolutely.
Thank you all for playing. I had a really good time running for all of you.
It was a load of fun.
Yeah, I'm glad I got to use my spells.
All right.
I shot my gun. Woo!
Yeah. Guns got shot. Spells got used.
Stabby,
attacks
stabby.
happen. Yeah.
That false life spell is pretty awesome.
That's the shit right there, man.
Oh, also before we cut away, like Garland, when you're walking home one night before we do the downtime, there is a skittering insect-like thing that is watching you from a distance, and
Of course it is.
It is no longer fist size. It is now like torso sized.
Yeah, we're gonna have that soon. If you've never heard of it and never saw it, there was a Spider-Man graphic novel that was, I forget who wrote it, but it was illustrated by Bernie Wrightson, who is a famous horror artist. It's called Hooky. And in it, there's this bug that just keeps evolving and getting bigger and getting bigger. And it was terrifying as fuck. And I'm not happy right now. So, yeah.
All right. On that note, I'm going to stop recording. Thank you, everyone that will be watching this in the future.
Thanks for watching.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.